Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
The B.S.N. Network proudly presents the W.E.C.P. with your hosts,
Aaron Holiday
and Jerry Flynn, the heels of podcasting.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Aaron.
I'm Jerry.
And our special guest,
Dave.
And Dave's also our other special guest, but our real special guest just called us today. One of our favorite local wrestlers, Too Buff. Too Buff, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, how's it going today?
It got cold, got hot, got cold. New England's crazy. We're doing awesome. Happy to have you on.
It's a pleasure to have you on.
It's great to be on. I mean, I love you guys. You guys are always there to support us at all the shows in Connecticut, and anything we can do to help you guys out, we're there.
Awesome, thanks, man. We saw you last year at CSW. You and Buff Dad, and we had such a great time. We loved your. I don't want to say. I'm going to just say it. Gimmick, whatever, shtick, whatever everybody wants to call it. But I love it. You guys added a new wrinkle this year that we saw at CSW 2. What is it, Dave? Eat, sleep, swivel, repeat. It's amazing. Love it. Dave was screaming it at the show.
To the point where he was like losing his voice.
Yeah, my voice was pretty hoarse after that.
Yeah.
And we made Buff Dad section signs because we just wanted to support you guys. Like, just love everything about it. Dave has a serious question. This is why I want this question to be the first one, just because we got to know. So, Dave, please ask this question.
Well, to Buff, first things first, I got to know, are you and Buff Dad actually related?
Actually, we are. He is actually my dad.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
Aaron called it.
That is so cool.
Oh, my God. That's so awesome.
See, I feel good right now.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I mean, you can tell with the chemistry in the ring and the way you guys talk to each other and the way you act. And last year we were giving Buff Dad shit because he wasn't getting in the ring and helping you out because, what was it, Rich Bass kept getting involved in the match. And we were like, get in there, help him. He's like, I'm trying.
But I wanted him to be in the over-the-top Rumble last night at NEW. The announcer came up to me with the microphone, and I screamed, I need Buff Dad in this Rumble. And Buff Dad was eating it up all night, man.
Go ahead.
I'm sure he was. He loves the attention.
So to ask that, like we ran into him we've run into him at a couple shows, but wanted to ask you what wrestlers or wrestler inspired you to become a wrestler, or who's your favorite wrestler? Like what made you want to do this?
Well, I mean, I watched wrestling growing up my whole life. Obviously, my dad is obsessed with it. My favorite when I was younger was always Ric Flair. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. I love everything about Ric Flair, his in-ring style, his out-of-ring style. He was just the man. I mean, you know, everybody has their favorites growing up, but Ric Flair always stood out for me.
So were you more of a WCW fan?
Not so much. In the early 90s, that's when WCW was good. Once Nitro came along and stuff, it kind of got to be too much, and then I switched over. I was a big Triple H fan for a long time.
Wow, all right.
Especially during the Attitude Era and DX. I loved DX. They were, I mean, you guys can tell, obviously, from our characters that we like the over-the-top, and the crazy, especially when it's a little edgy.
Yeah, all three of us are actually Shawn Michaels fans.
Shawn was amazing.
Yeah, and to watch back and just realize like how much of like sometimes he could be a real piece of shit, but like that's the one thing is I think that like we'll say like what we've witnessed with you is you're very like as much as you're like over the top in the ring and everything, and when we're talking to you like. You know, when we're around other people, but even when we talk to you afterwards, you're very nice, very humble, very sweet, very nice guy, you know, and people need to know that, like, you're not just the character you are in the ring.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I love the fans. Without you guys, there would be no us. There would be no reason for us. You know what I mean? And for me, the wrestling, it's not about the money and the fame, and I love doing it. I love being in the ring. And I love the feeling of being in front of a crowd.
Awesome.
And you guys do a great job at it, too. Two-Buff, I have a question for you. Where do you see yourself, like, in the near future, far future? Like, would you like to go above, like, maybe into Northeast Wrestling? Or do you, like, are your goals bigger, like, maybe a WWE or a Ring of Honor type promotion? Like, where do you think you'd want to end up at?
My biggest goal is I'd love to work in Japan.
Okay.
That I'm not terribly interested in working for the WWE. I like, you know, having my own style and my own thing. I don't really care for too much control. So the WWE it was never really like a goal for me. I've worked NEW a few times. I was doing their shows quite often last year. Just going in and, you know, I wrestled Wrecking Ball and he destroyed me, you know, just stuff like that. And then I took a little time off. I went and had surgery. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I went and had my teeth all redone. So I have a nice fresh smile now.
Oh, there you go, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, I noticed it, but I always thought that was a little rude on my part to be like, hey, nice teeth.
Yeah, your teeth look better than they did before.
Hey, Two-Buff, new teeth?
Sort of like Dustin from Stranger Things, too. Like, you got the pearls. So I guess that kind of leads me to my next question, too, is you were talking about having control of your character, which is a real interesting answer, too. Like, a lot of the people that we've talked to, I guess the goal for most people, you just assume, is to go play, you know, go participate in the WWE. Yeah. That seems like the mecca. But in today's day and age, there's so many independent wrestling venues and federations and stuff that really are the move now, it seems like. So with your character and wanting to have control of it, where did it come from? Like, where did it generate? The Buff Dad, was that your dad's idea? Was it yours? Did someone tell you guys should do this? Like, where'd you guys come up with that?
Well, what happened was I started training about 3 years ago with B.S.N before he took off to Florida to join NXT and become Oni Lorcan. When I started training, a couple weeks later, my dad decided to come in and he was going to learn to be a referee. So we spent hours back and forth trying to come up with a character for me. And, you know, we went through a lot of different things, a lot of stuff that might have worked, a lot of stuff that wouldn't have worked. And one day, it popped in Buff Dad's head, Crash Holly. With the over 500 pounds deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we kind of used that and added, you know, a little bit of Rick Rude and mixed them together, and Two-Buff came out of it. And I mean, when it started, it was just like a goofy thing that I was just going to do for a couple of months, and everybody loved it. So I kind of just stuck with it. Well, Biff decided that instead of my dad being a referee, he should become my manager.
Which works out beautifully.
What was that?
I said, which works out beautifully for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Biff saw the chemistry between me and my dad. Because, I mean, my dad is my dad, but he's also one of my best friends. Like, wrestling really brought us really, really close. So, yeah, Biff decided that, you know, on one of the class shows that he wanted Dad to manage me instead. And ever since then, he became the Buff Dad. And then he decided that he was going to start wrestling.
I love that.
So
I love that story.
he
That
started-
is awesome.
He started training with Bennett and Taven when they opened up the XWA Wrestling Kingdom, and he's been busting his butt doing that, and he's getting a lot better.
Awesome, man. No, yeah, we what was it? We saw him at
NEW.
NEW
The WrestleFest.
at WrestleFest last year, and every time he came out, we were just screaming, "Buff Dad!" And it was just like, obviously, a bunch of idiots that like, and we didn't know. We were like, we had seen you guys at one show. We're like, we don't know. Like, he kept looking at us like we're crazy people. I'm like, I don't know if he doesn't like. Maybe that was just like a one-time deal. Like, we didn't know, and that's awesome to hear that. Like, you guys, figured that all out together and everything, and like we love it. The music leading up is awesome too.
The whole presentation of the entire shtick and from the gear in the ring to the the nuance and the mannerisms and stuff, and it all just works. It's a really well put together thing. And CSW, actually Nat Peterson, the guy who runs CSW, he's actually friends with my sister from a long time ago. They went to high school together. So I started talking to him about him when he was hosting the wrestling event. Like, oh, do you need an announcer? Do you need whatever? And he was like, no, I think we're all set for now. He's like, but definitely come. You know what I mean? Like, just come and see, if you like it, and then we'll see if we can work something out down the road or whatever. But right now, I'm kind of all good. And I don't even want to touch it. I think that he does such a good job with that show being what it is, like, a startup federation or whatever, that I don't want to get in there and mess anything up. I like the ring announcer. I like the what's his name? Frankie? No,
Elvis.
Elvis. Yeah, Elvis. I like everything about that show. And having you guys participate in the first one and the second one was actually something we were really looking forward to for the second one, because I think you guys did such a good job of just creating a sense of like humor and entertainment while you came out. And I really liked your entire shtick as soon as we saw you, and then to have you guys follow it up and be even better, and with the new shirts and with everything, I really like what you guys got going on.
Well, thank you. I mean, I love the CSW shows. I think they're probably some of the funnest shows I've ever worked on. Nat is a great guy, and it was awesome for him to have us the first time. And then the second time, he messaged me and told me that he had to have us back, and that after the first show, that we were a big talking point. So, I mean, it's great to know that, we go out there and just have fun, and the people love it, and they eat it up, and they want us back,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Two Buff, any upcoming shows, excuse me, that you can tell us that you're going to be participating in?
Well, actually, every Thursday night at the XWA Wrestling Kingdom, we have Thursday Night Throwdown.
Okay.
I've been a big part of that ever since the very beginning. Those are also some of my favorite shows to work. I love the guys there. Everybody there busts their butt and are just trying to reach that next level. Also, XWA has the Extreme Rumble coming up, and that's on January 20th at the XWA Wrestling Kingdom. Hoping that I get a spot in their Rumble so that me and Buff Dad can win it and go on and get the world title.
That would be amazing.
That'd be perfect.
Yes.
That is so good.
So Dave's going to ask a question. We actually, where are you from actually?
I am from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay, so do you listen to EEI at all?
I do not.
WEI? No?
I barely listen to the radio.
Okay. Well, we interviewed a couple guys that are actually on that radio station, New York Times bestseller, Michael Hawley, and we also had one of his co-anchors, Rich Keefe.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting. But when I talked to Michael Hawley, to give you a little bit of a backstory, he's middle-aged, family man. He's been writing lots of books. He's wrote a book about 3 books about the Patriots. He's wrote a book about
David Ortiz's
autobiography, and just all kinds of stuff. And I asked him MFK question. And it was very worried that he wasn't going to receive it well, but he actually was a good sport and actually told us who he was going to kill first. So,
that was it.
Dave has a Mary F. kill for you.
So here's what I got. This is Aaron's shtick, but I wanted to be the oddball today, and I wanted to ask the question. So, to buff, marry, fuck, kill. Now that you have a great manager, being that your dad, so we're going to leave him off the list because, especially now that we know that he's your dad, I don't want you to do any of these three. Right? I don't want you to do any of these three. So we're going to go with marry, fuck, kill, high-class Rich Bass, which we've seen at CSW. I'm sure he works at other promotions.
And also took a clipboard to your dad's head.
Yeah, real bad. Real tough shot there. So we're going to go high-class Rich Bass, Brother Love, or Jim Cornette.
Oh, well, you definitely marry Jim Cornette right off the bat because, who else is going to give you that kind of advice?
Very true.
You want to marry somebody who's going to, help you along in life, not somebody that's going to hold you back.
True.
Very true.
Yeah, I like that.
I guess we're fucking Brother Love. I would love to kill Rich Bass.
There we go. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, man. So, I'm trying to think of, I'm doing it.
Do you have any questions for us or anything? I mean, not that we're not the talking point here, you know what I mean? But is there anything that you are interested in or anything? Like what's the actually before if you do have any questions before we do that, let's peel back the curtain on Two Buff a little bit. What do you like to do in your free time? What is Two Buff like when he's not Two Buff?
Free time, does that exist? Because I work a full-time job on top of wrestling all the time and training and, so I rarely get free time, and when I do, it's usually spent hanging out with my wife and her son, or maybe once in a while I'll go catch a beer with the boys.
Nice, yeah.
If I'm home on a Sunday, I'll watch the football game.
Do you have any interest on creating Buff Kid?
A Buff Kid?
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere down the line. Right now, I've got my hands full.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I just thought it'd be pretty cool.
No
That,
rush,
buff dad, Two Buff, Buff Kid.
But can you imagine though him walking out to the ring, him Two Buff, Buff wife, Buff Kid,
Buff wife, Buff Kid,
in the Buff stroller? You know what I'm saying?
I got a buff dog.
Yeah, Buff dog.
I got
Buff
a buff
cat,
dog, Buff cat.
Buff ferret.
I got a fish tank with about 13 buff fish. No problem.
Actually, Two Buff. Are you keeping up with WWE at all? Like in the recent, or did you kind of
I catch bits and pieces here and there. I see the important stuff. I don't necessarily watch it every week, but I try to keep up with it.
Okay, so do you know the Royal Rumble is in 2 weeks?
Oh, I do.
So I have to know, man. Who do you want your surprise entrant to be, and who would you like to see win the whole match?
For the male Rumble, I'm thinking it's got to be Nakamura that wins it.
Fingers crossed.
I'm
Fingers
hoping.
crossed.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's got to be Nakamura. Yeah.
It's got to be, and I'd love to see Nakamura versus AJ at WrestleMania. The
That'd
stuff
be
that they
amazing.
did in Japan was amazing, and they need to be on that stage. They need it.
That's going to be.
Surprise,
Sorry, go ahead.
As far as surprise entrants go, I'm more interested in seeing who the surprise entrants in the female Royal Rumble are this year.
Right.
I'm curious to see if they're going to bring back Trish or Lita and that's a tough call.
Well, I think Lita's still under
maybe
contract.
Asuka, maybe Nia.
Okay. Me and her kind of went with Asuka to kind of take.
Yeah, I just think Asuka is going to be the next one to take the title, and then they're just going to let her hold it for a while.
I mean, they kind of have to. She's a powerhouse. Yeah.
But no, I think my two. I threw this out there and everybody kind of laughed, but also same time we're intrigued. I said with Vince selling a lot of his stocks and getting into football now, there's a possibility of Triple H taking over. Even though he has an issue with this gentleman, I thought maybe CM Punk comes back because he has not scheduled another fight.
As much as I would love to see that, because I am a huge fan of CM Punk, I mean, when he was around before, I loved him. That was before I had started wrestling, and I had every CM Punk shirt and all the action figures. But I don't see him coming back anytime soon.
Well, I just said that.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I just said that because I thought maybe his wife would be the surprise entrance to the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Just because she is still young, still wanted to wrestle. She left just because her husband left.
I mean, I could definitely see that. I'd see that happening before I see Punk coming back.
But can you imagine that the pop?
Oh, that'd be nuts.
The roof would blow.
That place will go crazy.
Yeah, I feel like it would explode.
I think it'd be more than when AJ showed up. Because
Yeah,
I rewatched it recently, and I literally rewatched his entrance into the Royal Rumble, and I, as a 30-year-old male, I am not ashamed to say I started to like almost tear up. I'm like, oh my god, he's got. I'm like, this happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, why are you crying now?
The two best pops I can remember over the past decade probably is when Shane McMahon interrupted the Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, the honor,
Love Fest.
family honor
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shane just goes, here comes the money. And
Yeah.
that place fucking blew up, dude. I would have done anything to be in that building. That was
man.
awesome. And then when AJ came out of the Rumble, that was dope. I really was hoping, too, Buff, that you would say, oh, well, I talked to CM Punk, because I'm a wrestler, and he's not going to be there. Or he is. I thought you had the inside track. But
Unfortunately, I can't say that I know CM Punk.
Now with
Maybe someday.
now with like you said you wanted to go to Japan. We watched parts of Wrestle Kingdom. Jerry and I had an issue. We couldn't get couldn't log in for some reason to New Japan World. But with the Royal Rumble coming up, and every year they talk about Kenny Omega coming over.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be in the Rumble, just because I don't think I just don't think his contract's up. But if he comes over, who do you see taking over the Bullet Club?
It'll definitely be Finn leading the whole thing. I think if WWE brings in Kenny Omega, they won't push him into the main event picture right away. So it'll be, Kenny underneath Finn with Luke and Gallows.
Okay, but who would
with
lead it in
Luke and
Japan?
Oh, in Japan?
Yeah. Does
I
Cody
have no
take over?
idea.
Does Cody take over?
Yeah, I would assume.
I would say
Yeah.
Marty Scurll,
Maybe, yeah.
because
Marty Scurll is possible too.
because he's getting over like crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. It's insane. I mean, everybody in the Bullet Club, they're there for a reason because they're the best that independent wrestling has to offer.
Now, go ahead. Sorry.
The Young Bucks are probably the best tag team that I've ever seen in person. Those two are amazing, and Cody is just a genuine guy. Like, I've met Cody a few times. I've had Cody show me some stuff in the ring. He's come and done practices with us at the XWA Wrestling Kingdom, and that dude deserves so much more credit than he even gets. It's insane.
we watched him fight Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Angle's last match before he went back to the WWE.
Yeah, WrestleFest last year. And I was never much of a Cody fan because when I left wrestling for a long time. Like, I left in, 2000 or whatever, and then I came back when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, because my buddy told me, I would watch WrestleMania just based on nostalgia factor. You know what I mean? Every year I'd watch it just to watch it.
It's like Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Right. So, in that WrestleMania, I was like, holy fuck, dude, that was a great WrestleMania. And that drew me back in. I was like, I actually give a shit what happens on Raw tomorrow. You know what I mean? Now I want to know. So, I watched, and during that time, Cody was Stardust. And I'm like, this fucking thing sucks. This sucks. This guy sucks. I don't like him. It's the character's stupid. Watching him at XW or NEW at WrestleFest was total mind-blowing for me, because I didn't really get a chance to watch him as the actual talented wrestler that he is. I was like, this guy can work. He is an awesome, awesome, talented guy. And now watching what he's doing with the Bullet Club and everything in New Japan, and it's just incredible. He's a really, really gifted guy. I was wondering, they mentioned Wrestle Kingdom. Did you get a chance to watch it? And you saying you want to go to Japan. Did you watch the Omega Jericho match?
I actually have not got a chance to watch it yet. I've been running around like crazy. I've been dying to watch it, but I just haven't got that time to sit down and actually take the time to watch it.
Right.
I've seen bits and clips on Facebook and Instagram, and I especially Jericho and Omega. I was super hyped up for that match before it even happened, and then I heard how great it was, and now I'm dying to see it, and I just haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah, have you guys seen it?
We watched it.
You watched it.
Yeah,
Okay,
there was a link on Facebook that everybody was
Had the whole
passing
match.
around.
Yeah,
Had the whole match. I actually watched it, got to the end, fell asleep, woke up, and my phone was still playing because I was streaming it to my TV.
Yeah.
And it was playing again. Or
Oh,
like
nice.
it just kept jumping to it over and over again, and I was like, okay, I've watched it 3 times.
Perfect. There you go.
But I feel like that's enough time to really get the feel of a match. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you watch it a couple times.
I
and
watched
like-
it twice. I watched it twice.
I
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
it like 4.
Yeah, yeah.
So Two-Buff, I actually have a question. Like it involves a Rumble type situation. So you're in the Royal Rumble. You know you're going to be in it. What number do you want, and how far do you go?
Well, I mean, the obvious pick is number 27. More people have won the Royal Rumble from number 27 than ever before.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at 275 pounds of pure muscle, obviously I make it all the way to the end.
That's what I was saying, man. That's what I was, So we noticed that with your merchandise and with your T-shirt, the Eat, Sleep, Swivel, Repeat. For anyone who is a fan of yours, where can we buy the T-shirt? And I mean, if you want to plug anything, like a website or a store, or you guys make them yourselves. How can we order one of these T-shirts? Because I know the 3 of us definitely want a T-shirt. So where can we get an Eat, Sleep, Swivel, Repeat?
Yeah, we want to support you, man. We have our own TeePublic store, but we want to know where we can get some of your shirts.
We want to swivel with you and Buff Dad.
Okay, well, as of right now, all the Eat, Sleep, Swivel, Repeat shirts are completely sold out.
Naturally.
They went
I'm not
off the
surprised.
shelves like crazy, especially at XWA. I mean, if you come down to XWA, you'll see a sea of red shirts, all in support of us. We do have some new shirts that we've been working on, and we're probably going to order them within the next week or so. They are going to be different, but I promise you guys, you'll be just as happy with those.
Okay.
Awesome. No, because we've been Dave is kind of Dave runs basically the network that we're on, but Dave's also been creating a lot of T-shirts and everything for us, getting us on TeePublic, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And we were I was instantly, as soon as we started talking, I was like, I got to get one of these shirts.
Right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And actually, I'll probably talk to you off air about where you order your physical shirts from, because I really want to get into physical stock. So I'm going to hit you up later. But yeah, no. So is there a website or anything that I know you guys are sold out now? But do you have a website or anything that, like Jerry said, like anything you want to promote? Before you go, you've been very gracious with your time here and stuff. So I just want to make sure you get what you need out, while you're on.
Well, you can find me at the one and only Two-Buff on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can find me on Facebook at just Two-Buff. We don't actually sell our shirts online. If you want to buy one of our shirts, you have to see us in person.
Perfect.
We feel like that, gets people to come out to the shows and, have a good time, even when they'd rather order it online. I think it's much better personal. You get to talk to us a little bit, maybe even get an autograph. The online thing is great, but it's just not for us. We're more in person. Come see us. We'll get you hooked up,
I really like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that marketing approach. That's a good idea.
And I have one last question. And Two-Buff, I have to know. Let's say you make it to New Japan. Who is your dream match opponent?
That's a tough one. I mean, there are so many guys out there. I'd love to work with Jericho. I think me and Jericho could, have a lot of fun. And, Jericho's character is so off the wall when he wants it to be that I think we could, I think that would be awesome. There's just so many guys, though. I mean, the list could just go on and on. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but last year, around this time, everybody was making a list of all the wrestlers that they wanted to wrestle in the Indies. And, I mean, there's just so many guys. It's almost impossible to pick one. But, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jericho. Again, all the way going back to his WCW days.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
His lion
out of all the people there, I think Jericho is the obvious choice.
Hell yeah.
I think I have one last one too. Now you said your dad's been wrestling now too, right? That he's been working on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta know, and I'm not trying to spoil anything. Is there a possible kayfabe turn? Like, will there be a 2Buff versus Buff Dad at some point?
Oh.
I mean, we'll have to see how much he drives me nuts between now and then. I'm thinking eventually I'll get sick of him.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. All right. Aaron, you got anything?
No, I'm just so happy we got to talk to you. I know Jerry's been texting back and forth with you. Like I said, when you guys came over after you guys had your match and came over during intermission, we had a merch table also trying to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Connecticut. We were just so happy to talk to you, see you guys just laughing, smiling, happy to be there. That's one thing that like us three always talk about is like go see local shows, just go promote the local guys.
Sure.
And you never know, like a Oni Larkin, one day we're going to see him on NXT, WWE, whatever. I saw him at the NXT show that they did in Rhode Island, in Kingston, Rhode Island. He was awesome. I'm not a big fan of Lars Sullivan, but that's just me. I just thought Oni Larkin was a better wrestler. But that's awesome. That's awesome that you got to train with him. So I just want to say thank you for coming on and supporting us, and we're going to keep supporting you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I mean, anytime you guys want me back on, just shoot me a text. I'm usually available Sunday morning, so, just shoot me a text and I'll call you up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
2Buff, thank you once again, brother. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
You too,
man. All right.
I'll see you soon.
Woo!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 14 of W.E.C.P. And we're here going to talk about a little bit of wrestling, and then we're also going to talk about some movies and stuff that we've been watching and shows we've been watching, and then we'll clean this up, we'll end it with a little bit of collectibles.
That's it. That's the beauty of this show.
All right, so let's get into the wrestling.
That's this wrestling, you fuckface!
So, Jerry, we have to talk about it.
Yep.
We got to talk about it because it's what ruled the world for pretty much the 2 weeks we've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha versus the Omega.
Yes. So, January 4th, as we've been, you and me have been ever so nicely
Counting down the days.
but also promoting the shit out of this match. We had finally, in most wrestling fans, their opinions, the ultimate dream match: Chris Jericho versus the one Kenny Omega. Watched it. I watched the match. I sent you the link to the match. I thought it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
See, I am going to take a completely different take than everyone else in the world.
Saw this one coming.
I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the greatest match I've ever seen, which a lot of people would extremely disagree with me.
We might argue
But
today.
I also listened to an interview
We just might argue today.
that Jericho did on his own podcast. He interviewed Kenny,
Yeah.
I think a day or two after.
Yeah.
And they sat down and had a conversation about the match. and it made me feel better about it once I heard them explain a little bit more of the psychology to me.
Okay.
And also them explaining that, like, you weren't going to get Kenny Omega versus Okada. You weren't going to get Omega Okada 3. Like,
No.
it wasn't going to be that type of, like,
Right, yeah.
long match. It was a long match.
Yeah, it was like,
but
it was like what, 45 minutes, mate?
I think it was. I think the video's like 44 minutes.
Yeah.
That I saw online
Yeah.
or something like that. But I don't love it for the simple fact that I wasn't. I don't want to say I wasn't blown away, but there were certain things that I'm like, oh, okay, like that's really cool. And then I'm watching and I'm like, like, not like I can do anything better. I am not. Don't get me wrong. I am not anywhere close to either one of those men when it comes to psychology or anything. Just certain things didn't blow me away. Mm-hmm. I think it was a great match. It could be the match of the year, but
I think 100% is.
I think it could be, and it only was 4 days into the year.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that a statement on what wrestling is right now?
I mean,
the state of it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is if you're gonna take this match, the Alpha versus Omega match, and base this on the 2018 year, there's a lot of people, and I mean, there's gonna be a lot of matches that are gonna have to blow this match out of the water. Now, this is what I will say. I love the match. I thought it was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. It wasn't what I was expecting it, but
I think that's what it is
but
for me.
right,
I
yeah.
was expecting more.
Like an explosion, right? More explosive.
And more, I want to say, lack of a better word, more in-ring technical.
Okay.
Versus it was very like they and I understand, and that's why I said once I listened to their interview, it was like, hey, when we first started this, I was going to attack you, and I'm going to bust you open in the ring.
Yeah.
And then we decide we're going to have you attack me at the press conference.
Yeah, yeah.
At that point, and how crazy the press conference was, and how crazy Jericho played it up at the end of the press conference, like screaming and stuff like that, we have to make this like a no DQ.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the referee's going to look like an idiot letting them throw fucking chairs at each other and shit like that.
Right.
And that's what, to me, was like, okay, once I heard that, I was like, okay, I can look at it from a different frame of mind than when I did
so you're
when I first heard about the match. When I first heard about the match, I was like, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of high spots. It's going to be nuts.
A lot of
Jericho's going to do some fucking crazy high spots. And I'm like...
We're going to see the old Jericho.
And I didn't... Not saying we didn't get a good match, and we didn't get a, great match. We just didn't get the match that I thought I was going to get.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I understand. I understand where you're coming completely, because I didn't get what I was expecting either, but I had to kind of take a back seat to my own self and say, you know what? They're both in the ring together. They're both there. They're both kicking each other's asses. It's a great match. There were some... I mean, dude, when they were outside the ring and Kenny jumped from the ring over into the behind the security wall, landed through that table, which I gotta say something about this.
They don't have gimmick tables.
They don't have gimmick tables, and those tables are so thin. I mean, and I don't mean thin, I mean like width-wise. They're thin, and they just look like they fucking hurt.
Yeah, no, he was talking about how, Kenny was talking about how, I forgot who it was, put him through a table, I want to say it was last year, or something like that. He was talking about it on Jericho's podcast, about how like he had gotten, they were supposed to put him through double tables.
Yeah.
And he went through the first one and hit the second one and just bounced off of it.
Oh.
And he said how painful it was.
Yeah, man.
And that's what Jericho said. He goes, I'm used to every table I use in the WWE, they're made to break.
Yeah.
They're not made to stay together.
They just kind of fold.
And that's what he said. He's like, they need to invest in gimmick tables. Something.
Yeah, because like I said, those tables they use, those look brutal. I mean, I know you've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
They
It looked painful.
As hell.
Yeah. It's thick. That's what it is.
It's thick, yeah. So, again, like I said, I had to take a backseat to my own, perspective on the match and just enjoy it as a wrestling fan. And it worked out. I wasn't disappointed. And again, it wasn't what I, like how you said, it wasn't what I expected either. But it happened.
Yeah, and Jericho, he's going to be competing, and it looks like he's going to stay for a little bit
Yeah, because tell everyone what happened the day after.
So the day after, he attacks Naito
Uh-huh.
and beats the shit out of him in the middle of the ring. And then also Cody and some of the Bullet Club are beating up. I forgot who it was in the ring. I'm sorry that I don't remember who it was. I just saw clips of it because I obviously don't have New Japan World. And I don't watch everything. So they're holding him. Cody's about to take him out with, I think it was a chair or something like that. And then Omega comes running out and stops it.
Yeah.
And then it's a big shoving match. And then I think Marty Scurll and a couple other people are like telling him to stop. And then Cody leaves with the rest of the Bullet Club. And then Omega's standing in the ring kind of like by himself. And the crowd's chanting for Omega. He's not a heel anymore.
Yeah.
That's the way I took it.
Yeah.
So that's a big... And to think, like, if that's what their next, like, maybe 2 months of New Japan is, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Cody versus Omega, and for the power of, essentially the power of the Bullet Club.
But is Omega out of Bullet Club?
That's the other thing, is, like, does he need it? I don't think he does.
Oh,
Not anymore.
No, but, I mean, and, you know, in his merchandise sales, like the T-shirts and stuff like that, most of his stuff, right, he only has, like, the couple Bullet Club stuff, like his, 8-bit, Kenny Omega, and whatever, and he's got, like, the like, 2 other Bullet Club T-shirts, but his merch for his own, just him, just sells just as much as the Bullet Club shit.
Yeah.
So he'll survive.
Yeah, I think that's what one of my way I would take it is that he doesn't need the Bullet Club. He doesn't need the Young Bucks.
No.
Like the Elite thing can kind of stop, but you can, being the Elite videos will be a little tough without having Omega anymore.
Yeah, I love seeing Kenny in those videos.
But I think you've kind of slowly shown that you're going to replace him with Cody for now because he's already signed up for 2 years with Ring of Honor. So obviously he's going to be in New Japan for a little bit, and he's not the champion, obviously, because they gave it to, was it Dalton Castle has the ROH title now?
Yes.
He's holding it right now.
Yep.
So he can stay in New Japan for a little bit until they need him for something in ROH. But they don't need to be in the Bullet Club anymore. They can do their own thing. Right. They can still be being the Elite and do their own thing.
Yeah, they can easily survive
without Bullet Club.
Yeah.
I did hear a funny tidbit. Anything that's like Bullet Club, when it says Bullet Club on it, they don't get any money for that.
They don't.
New Japan does.
Oh.
If it has their name on it, they get it. Like, so Young Bucks T-shirt will get a percentage of that
so that's
because
why
it's there.
That's why they never promote just the basic Bullet Club T.
That's why they wear their stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm thinking if Kenny Omega and Cody happens, what are you thinking? Maybe Wrestle Kingdom 13, depending on how this goes?
I don't know if they'll stretch it out that long.
So it might be sooner than. But how do you think that match will go? I mean, who do you
I think it's Cody wins, takes over the Bullet Club.
Goes over, right? Yeah.
Cody takes over the Bullet Club. That's why I think Omega.
But does Kenny stay in Japan?
I think there you go. I think Kenny is the surprise show up Raw night after WrestleMania.
Oh man!
You lose, Lesnar leaves. Lesnar's done.
Dude.
You sign Kenny Omega instead. Because I think I know a lot of people stand up for Lesnar. Yeah. I don't.
No, me neither.
I think he's a monster, but you've already built one, and you don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
You have Braun Strowman, you don't need him. So, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but I understand it better now once I listened to the explanation of the psychology of it, which is, poor on me for not putting it all together beforehand. But I just had such a view in my head of what it was like, and I feel like that's why... Not to change complete subjects, but that's why I think like movies like Thor and Star Wars are so like... Star Wars, obviously, there's more people that hate it than love it right now for some reason. And it's the same thing. Like I'm probably in the like way my like small percentage of people that didn't overly love Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But my point is like I understand it, why people love it. And I think that's what I'm willing to understand is that I think it was a great match. It just wasn't and it could be the best match of the year for the simple fact that you're not going to get that much on WWE. Like, even WrestleMania, like, you can't tell me, unless you get a good 30-minute match at a Nakamura and AJ, we're not going to get a great match on WrestleMania. I just don't see it.
Well,
I just have one quick thing to say.
yes.
When 2Buff said he wanted Shinsuke to win and get the AJ Nakamura match, it's not going to be like the New Japan match.
No,
because
it's not.
Everybody's going to screw it all up. You know what I mean?
Well, no.
And that's where I started to interrupt him, and I wanted to say, like, but I don't even know if I want that match because it's going to be disappointing compared to what you've seen him do before. You know what I mean?
P.S. Hi, Dave.
Hi. Hey, guys.
Oh, guys, Dave Dawson.
I'm still here from the interview. I'm still here. I just wanted to say hi. That's all. So.
Well, it's because Dave has a good point with that because of how the creative team is going to be. They're going to tell them, go out there and do your thing, but you have to kind of shave off what you guys want to do, and it's going to, in a way, he's right because this has happened to us 1,000 times where we'll see a build up and like, oh man, this match is going to be good. Like, and I feel like with WWE product, like whatever, some matches they're throwing out, we get excited, but it's not like an excitement that, let's say we went to an NEW show and so and so is coming back versus this person, or let's say we go to Ring of Honor.
Well, NEW next month or in March when we go see the WrestleFest show.
Yep.
It is Flip Gordon versus I think it's Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
For the NEW heavyweight title. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a great match.
Oh yeah. Matt Riddle.
And not to say, and obviously barring injury to either one of them, knock on wood, nobody wants that to happen.
No.
But that happens in wrestling.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, nothing's wrong with either one of them. They're going to put on a fucking show.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean,
like, Cody and Angle put on a fucking show. Like, they do it. That's their version of WrestleMania. Like, it's their biggest show of the year, WrestleFest.
Right.
They bring out all the big-name wrestlers that they can for that show.
Right. And, going back to, like, the NEW, like, even, like, Flip Gordon, he put on a great show last night versus, against Joey Mercury over there in Bethany. And, like, when I was telling you guys earlier, I mean, I was never a Joey Mercury fan.
Yeah.
But after seeing him in person and the way he interacts with the crowd, and because he was interacting with my section, with me and, my girlfriend and my buddy Joe, it changed my whole perspective on him as a performer, because I never, like, what was his team? Eminem back in WWE with
something like that,
or whatever.
Oh no, you're talking about him with
Morrison and Molina.
Yeah, when he had hair.
Right. Yeah. Before the nose bust incident.
Yeah.
Before he went blind. They never did anything for me, and maybe it's because I was younger and I only wanted to see one person at the time, HBK, because he was still there and I didn't care about him.
But Morrison's the same way, man. He went on to the Indies, became Johnny Mundo.
Yeah. And
he's awesome.
Yeah, and I want to see him wrestle. Like, so after seeing Joey Mercury, I'm like, oh shit, like, I'm actually intrigued in this guy, because it's not what WWE is shoving down my throat. It's what he's making himself. Full creative control over himself. And again, like what 2Buff was saying, like, wherever he goes, he wants to stay in control of how his character runs. And to me, that's a huge thing. So I don't know. I mean, and getting back to the Kenny, Jericho match. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, like, and I stick by it. It's gonna be match of the year. Even though, you said 4 days into the year or whatever, but I just don't think WWE is going to produce anything to top that. Even at WrestleMania, it's just not going to happen. But my question is, though, do you see Jericho at the Rumble this year?
No.
And why?
Because he has a show. We already talked about it. I think he's got a concert the night.
The 28th?
The night of that.
Okay, because usually he'll make, like, those...
Yeah, no, I think he's legitimately. Well, yeah, but he's already got the most minutes in Royal Rumble history. So
Yeah, he gets so far and he ends up never winning.
yeah, it's Jericho.
Yeah, you know. So, but yeah, as far as all that stuff is concerned, like I said, I mean, I just feel like the match is great, and I agree with you with just what we see and what is produced, because we know how these guys are. We're picturing an explosive, technical,
high spots, just craziness.
right? And
they brought craziness. They had chairs, they had fucking spray,
but it wasn't what we were.
It just wasn't what I was thinking.
Right.
That's all.
Still respect the guys.
Yeah, I respect the match, respect them.
We'll still buy the merch. Don't worry about that. So,
the other thing is crazy that's going on. This mix match challenge that WWE is trying to push. That's going to be on the Facebook TV.
I never heard of that.
Facebook Watch.
Facebook Watch. And have you seen the teams?
I've seen a few of the teams. I don't know the full list. I see you have a list, right?
All right, so the Raw teams are Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman,
Okay. That's
Sasha Banks and Finn Balor,
yeah. That's a good one.
Nia Jax and Apollo Crews, Asuka and The Miz,
Okay.
Alicia Fox and Goldust, which I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
Bailey and Elias Sampson, the guy that plays guitar.
Oh yeah.
The guy that walks.
I like Elias Sampson.
I don't, but that's okay. And then so the SmackDown teams: Charlotte Flair and Bobby Roode. Sorry, that's the team I think should win.
That's my favorite team.
Lana and Rusev. Lana can't wrestle, so obviously no. Naomi and her husband Jimmy Uso.
Okay.
And Natalia and Shinsuke, which is that's an interesting team.
There you go.
Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn.
Okay.
And then to round it all up, Carmella and Big E.
KO's not part of any of this?
No.
Okay, Carmella and Big E.
Yep. And the reason why Big E's her teammate is it was a fan voted.
Oh, it's fans?
Fan voted for him. You had to vote between the three members of the New Day.
What's with the pancakes?
That's their new gimmick.
Pancakes?
Yes, they're trying to sell pancakes. The Bootios. I'm sad to say that I fucking know what it is because I hate it.
Yeah.
They got that endorsement deal. They sell those cereals and like FYE and stuff like that. Like they have this real stuff.
They're like $14.
They're probably trying to do the same thing. Like, hey, let's get teamed up with Eggos. 11 from frickin' Stranger Things does it. Let's do it. Yeah. Product placement. That's really what it is. It's product placement.
Yeah, of course, naturally. All right, so
and they're all competing for charities.
Oh, that's good.
So like obviously like Connor's Cure, Girl Up, Special Olympics, Global Citizen, Boys and Girls Club of America, Susan G. Komen, Rescue Dogs Rock, Hire Heroes USA, AmeriCares, Make-A-Wish, UNICEF, and Kaboom, whatever the fuck that is.
Kaboom.
But yeah, it's like you said. There's only two teams that I really like, genuinely love. Yeah. I don't like some of what is the point of Alexa Bliss and Braun? Like smallest versus with the biggest?
That's probably
But
because they want to make a battle pack out of that, just because it's coming.
It's gonna look weird.
It's coming.
But then you have Nia Jax, so you take her best friend Nia Jax and team her up with Apollo Crews. I get it. You got to put Apollo Crews on something to get something out of him.
Yeah,
but.
Because
if you're going to do smallest, take the biggest woman you have and put her with the smallest woman. Granted, you already got rid of, what's his name that was with Carmella?
Oh, James Ellsworth.
Yeah. You got rid of Ellsworth.
Yeah, thank God.
But his figure actually looks good, though.
Is it out?
Yeah. It's going to be on the new series.
You're gonna pick it up?
I don't know. We'll see. It's the only one he's getting. He's already fired, so he's not going to have another one.
Aaron's going to buy it.
But the other one that's like really puzzling, Asuka and The Miz. What the shit? I thought Asuka was like a good guy.
I follow her on Instagram. And,
yeah, so do I.
Yeah,
and Twitter.
Right.
I saw all the videos.
Right. And
makes no sense.
No, it does make sense, but you see how she was excited, though, to be with The Miz. I mean, you'd think that...
You would think you'd be apprehensive of it because he's a fucking heel.
Well, yeah, but are these storyline driven, though?
No, but that's the point. My point of that is
the world.
If these kids what you're trying to promote is kids
right.
because they're already on Facebook. That's what you're trying to get is all the kids
right.
to watch. If you're doing that, why waste your time fucking up other storylines by making unless you're going to turn Miz face?
No, that'll never happen. But they're only doing this because it's for just charity. They're like
I understand that, but if you're going to
take a side, they take a sideline for now.
That doesn't work.
They just do it.
That doesn't work.
Of course, it doesn't work. We see it doesn't work, but goddamn, it's for kids, man.
But I think like the team that's like makes the most sense to me when it comes to like their gimmicks, is fucking Alicia Fox and Goldust.
No, man, Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, no, I understand because they both wear the robes. I get that, like the whole shtick. But I'm talking about like not like a given. That's not. And they're not going to win.
Yeah, right. No, I mean it doesn't make sense to me, but. I don't know. Nia Jax and Apollo Crews will never make... I thought she was supposed to team up with Enzo.
He got the flu, and then... No, he did.
Oh, legit?
He legitimately went to the hospital.
Oh, shit, okay.
And then they were like, yeah, now he can't compete. And it's like, it's not happening for another 2 weeks.
So you drop Enzo...
Yep, and you put Apollo Crews in there.
And you put a jobber in. I can't even call him a jobber because he's not even on.
To be honest with you, I think really what it is they saw how like, and they keep doing it with Nia and Enzo at shows, like teasing that romance.
Yeah.
And how Alexa Bliss keeps ending it, unless the only thing is, well, by the time this airs, Alexa Bliss does something or hooks it like. Makes out or does something with Enzo and ends that situation.
But then, so now do Enzo and Alexa Bliss become a thing?
No, I don't think so. I think it'd be like more along the lines of, no, I don't want my friend hooking up with you. I'm doing this for her. And then it's like a whole storyline between Nia and Alexa hating each other now. They're not friends anymore.
I wanted him. He's so small. I just want to nestle him.
Yeah. I want to spoon him.
I don't want him to spoon me. I want to spoon him. So, as far as that goes,
wrestling's just been weird lately. Like the shows haven't been great.
No.
Raw is still rough to watch.
Well, it is, and
Jason Jordan's really making you love him, huh?
No,
really making you love Raw,
dude. Let me tell you something. I can't. He's the reason why I can't fucking watch it. Pardon my French, but
it's pretty bad.
Did you see the promo can I say one thing though? Balor Club. Can we please touch on that for a minute?
Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be a thing,
dude. Imagine this, right? And I know you secretly work for WWE, so I know you're taking notes. Because you come up with like these amazing storylines.
Yeah, but they never use them.
So. They never use them, right? But well, you're the guy they need a guy to say no to, and you're the guy.
I'm him.
You just have that face to Vince. Bring Aaron Holiday in here. I need to tell him no.
Yeah, should he yell at him?
Vince, you needed me? No, Aaron. Okay. AJ Superstar Shakeup.
Yep.
Comes to Raw.
No.
What? The Balor Club.
Nope.
4 members.
Nope.
Why doesn't it work for you? Well, you don't want it, or
I just don't see. I don't think AJ needs that.
AJ doesn't need it, but I want it. I need it.
No, but I don't see. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But is it a good idea? I think it's a phenomenal idea.
I think not to be stupid, but
think of merch, man.
Well, also, you have to think like one kicked the other one out. Like, isn't that how they always end? The leader of the Bullet Club, he gets kicked out.
Yeah, you get the shit kicked out of you.
Okay, so. Didn't AJ have to do that to Balor when he left?
Yeah, right, and then it happened to AJ.
Yeah,
but
like that's my point. Like, why would you want to team up with a guy that kicked you out of the club? Now,
But
you can say the same thing for the club as well, like for Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could say like, "Hey, man, like we just couldn't overrun him. Like he's the boss. He took over. It was a hostile takeover of the Bullet Club. He got everyone else on their side, on his side, and we were your friends. But like, we just had to go with the winning team. You were leaving. Like there can be a storyline to prove why you didn't."
You were going to the other guys. We needed to do something.
Yeah, and he was going to stay and keep us going. But my point is, you don't need AJ to do, because I think, to be honest with you, when you look at the two of them, obviously, as purely a WWE fan, they're not the same.
Well, no,
but if you're as a fan of them as I think you are, you'd look at them and go, they're the same guy when it comes to where they are level wise in your view.
Yeah.
Don't put them together because it makes no sense. There's no one else on Raw that's going to team up against them. That's why I think WrestleMania, if hypothetically that does happen, by then, well, no, because he's not coming back. No, he's not coming back. You're not going to have maybe next year's Royal Rumble or something. Maybe next year's SummerSlam. You get the Shield versus the Club.
Yeah,
I just don't picture Vince holding on to that storyline that long.
No, that's way too much of a stretch.
Well, God forbid you book for 6 months to a year.
Well, Jesus, you know how Vince works. If it's not the now or the soon,
yeah, I get it.
It can't be.
It doesn't happen.
Well, all right, but just hear me out on this, and I understand. AJ and Finn are both leaders, right? And Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are just the muscle in the back. Mm-hmm. Just join me on this ride real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Strap in. Let's say they become a 4-man faction. Okay. You, in your wildest dreams, in your your heart of hearts, you don't see that being a successful thing. Do you... let's say they just do it. Let's say AJ comes to Raw.
Yeah, they're together.
They all come together. Let's say that's already happened. Who do you want them to face? And
my point, who are they going to face?
But think about it. But anyone else could shake up.
The Wyatt family? We're going to bring that back together?
New Day.
But there's 3 members. You'd have to add a 4th.
Get fucking what's his name?
What? Apollo Crews?
No, not
that's not going to help.
What's the guy that's running the posse right now?
Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil. Yeah.
That's what I mean. But he's got
his
own.
About Titus O'Neil's
posse.
Though.
They try. Yeah, dude. The Titus Worldwide.
Yeah.
Combine them. You don't need
Titus Worldwide is what? That is Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Dana Brooks.
Yeah.
And who else? There's like 3 of them.
The little Japanese guy there. The guy that goes, What's his name?
It doesn't match up.
I feel stupid.
AJ versus Dana Brooke. They both have women's hair. And then...
Easy Joe.
I know, yeah.
Easy Joe.
He does have a soccer mom haircut.
It's getting longer,
but I love
though.
AJ.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
getting
AJ.
longer, though.
Yeah, you legit love...
Yeah,
but
it is getting longer. He was just in that awkward stage.
What I'm trying to get is that I want the Balor Club to be WWE's Bullet Club, and the only way for this to happen is if you got to put AJ in there at least for a couple...
Did you hear what I said about my prediction for Omega?
What?
He shows up the night after WrestleMania. You have the Bullet Club in the WWE.
But
it's the Balor Club.
I know, but the odds of that happening are 20 to...
No, they're not bad odds. He almost came to... The year that AJ signed was supposed to be Kenny Omega.
Right, I understand that, but it's...
And now he just had a match with Jericho.
Right.
Now... But Vince has already sent his guy to New Japan to scout him out and see if he's a legit worker.
I understand you.
That's
completely.
How Vince is.
I understand you 100%. At the end of the day, Kenny still has the U.S. title. You got to get rid of that first.
Yeah,
but that can happen tomorrow. Yeah. At any given time, he could lose the title.
But it's not. But there's nothing. I'm telling you.
I said WrestleMania, by the way. That's months from now.
Right. No, I know. I understand. What was this? January?
Still 2 months away. March, April.
Yeah.
No, that's... Is it March?
It's usually April.
All right, so April. Yeah. So we got about 3 months.
End of March, beginning April.
Yeah, it's like it's normally that. Yeah,
Anyway,
You got about 3 months.
3 months, right?
He drops the title to fucking Cody and gives up the Bullet Club. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like that to happen.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. What do you do with them, though? Like you said, your reason for not having AJ would be Kenny Omega.
With using Kenny inside WWE?
No, like he's saying, like, so don't put AJ in the club.
Oh, but you put Kenny.
But my question is, doesn't the same problem still exist?
Well, yeah, because you can't have the most recent leader take over the original leader's club. Like, that's Balor's club. What I'm saying is...
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like you were saying, who matches up with them? What do you do with them, like, booking-wise? Like, if it was AJ in there or Kenny Omega, you still have the same booking problem. Right.
I mean, for WWE.
WWE, yeah.
I say you put him in there. This is me being me, because I don't hate the guy like a lot of... And I'm not saying you guys do, but the average or smart fans, too... I think him and Roman could be a good matchup.
I have no problem with that. I was thinking more of a Bobby Roode or a Shinsuke because it's already been done.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and we've said this a thousand times, that we've exhausted the shit out of our voices saying this. WWE creative will never go with that. I don't. And after thinking about it, Kenny Omega comes to WWE, right? They're not going to know what to do with the guy. Because it's like, well, if we put you on SmackDown, you're just going to be competing against AJ.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, he's the guy. But that would work, too.
It would work, but it wouldn't work. It's not
for the club. I get what you're saying.
Working over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Because it gets stale after a while. Do you want to see Kenny versus AJ all year long? I know I would. I wouldn't mind it.
I think you could have great matches.
Right, but the people that are there are going to be like, well, Jesus, here we go again. It's going to be Kenny versus AJ.
I got long-term plans, man.
I'm a big picture guy.
Yeah, I'm a big picture guy. I'm picturing like a year. I'm picturing next WrestleMania. You got them.
Right, and I understand. I'm with you on that.
And you got Young Bucks.
Here's what I think about it. Not that you asked me.
But do tell, Dave. Actually, hold on. Dave, what do you think about it?
I like the idea in a vacuum because we all grew up in the Attitude Era. So I'm all faction pro. Like, anything faction's fucking dope to me. Bullet Club, Balor Club, whatever you want to call them, is the best running faction in WWE, or in wrestling, in the world of wrestling right now. You know what I mean? So even if it's in New Japan, it's the best faction happening. Bring that to what I watch on a regular basis, I'd love it. But I think logistically, he's right. Where, what do you do? And you're taking AJ, your best wrestler from SmackDown, and probably the best wrestler in your business.
No question.
And might be the best wrestler in the world.
Might be, right. And then you're you're sistering him up with guys that he already kind of did this with. Okay, that's cool. And I get it. It'd be exciting. What does SmackDown do?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're putting too much on one show.
Yeah, it's too much on one show, and it's too much in one group. Because those are two legitimately of your most talented guys.
And I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, with the superstar shakeup, you could now throw in, take out, you could trade up.
Right, but
Roman goes to SmackDown. The Shield goes to SmackDown now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see it, but if for my...
I don't care where they are. I hate it,
Aaron's favorite team, the New Day, will go to Raw. You know what I'm saying? Or
there you go. Now they're going to compete against the New Day.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with it. When we grew up in an era where there was factions that we loved it, and there was talent all over the fucking place, right? Yeah. From a business standpoint, you had the Authority, right? And then you had DX with two of its best wrestlers at the time, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, right? Were two of the most talented guys that they had on the roster.
The Corporation.
I'm right. I'm sorry. Yeah, Corporation, right. Yeah.
And the Ministry.
And the Ministry.
of Darkness. You had the Brood. You had...
Right. There was guys all over the place.
What's the other one? The Nation of Domination.
Nation of Domination, right.
You had everything.
You had the Alkalites. You had...
There was groups and everything was subsectioned out, and it was great. And DX worked because you had two of the main guys, or more talented guys on the roster, in one group. That's fine. Who runs the next group now?
You meaning HBK and Triple H? Or?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so
don't get me wrong. Like, The Rock and Stone Cold were great. They were also awesome.
Right.
But Triple H, I would say, was in top 10 names on the roster.
Don't forget either, The Rock was also part of the corporation.
Right, he's part of the corporation.
He was a sellout.
Exactly. Yeah.
So wait,
I don't think you have the talent or clout or personality or whatever to just put Finn and AJ in one thing, because it's not like you have a Rock and a Stone Cold and an Undertaker and other guys to do what they did back then.
But you have a separate show
Yeah.
in NXT. You bring some of the guys up, right? Mm-hmm. And you do something. Eric Young's coming.
I was going to
I promise you we're going to see him at the Rumble. I promise you this.
Well, I was going to say the three guys that they could compete against. You're talking about if we're purely sticking with a three man team.
Yeah.
For the club.
Yeah.
You just bring up the new era.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That could happen, and that doesn't shake up your roster. That just adds new blood to Raw.
Right.
I mean, you could also do like when they bring Insanity up. You could.
I can't wait for them to
the
come
club
up.
doesn't have a woman.
But you could. But
there's going to be a woman that'll join that.
You could do that, and what I'm saying is like if so Sandy has a woman wrestler.
But isn't Sandy supposed to be like a heel team, and or have they made a face turn? Like that,
Sandy's
you never
like,
know.
I feel like
they're a middle of the road team.
Yeah,
Right.
well, the Balor Club is sort of in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
they're
it's
supposed to be
like-
bad guys, but like Finn is so fucking over. AJ
Yeah, that's
is so
what I
fucking
mean.
over.
That's
They
what
wouldn't
I
be able
mean.
to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
It'd be like DX, like they're
Like,
heels,
when-
but they're loved by
okay.
everybody.
Well, I mean the best example when AJ turned heel.
yeah.
After beat up John Cena, like that whole thing, people were like, "That's the wrong person to try to turn heel over," because they want to see that.
Right.
They like that slogan, "Beat up John Cena."
Right.
So it's like it's I call it the Stone Cold effect. You want
Right.
to be a bad guy, but it's just not.
Yeah, everyone loves what you're
Everyone
doing.
loves
your
everyone
shit,
loves
yeah.
you way too much to boo you.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yep.
But what I'm getting at is you have the 4-man faction, right? You bring up a couple guys from NXT into Raw, into SmackDown. You do a shakeup. You balance it out as good as you can, and I think it'll work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying AJ would be the leader because Finn Balor is without Finn Balor, Bullet Club would never even exist.
Right.
That's his baby. That's his creation. Mm-hmm. But now that you have the Balor Club, which is WWE's version now of Bullet Club, with the oddly almost same symbol they got going on.
Yeah.
With bringing people up, shaking people around, doing a couple things, bringing new people in, I feel like it could work.
If you told me Aleister Black is going to become the World Heavyweight Champion, I'd be like, awesome, cool. I'm all for it.
Bring up Aleister Black,
You guarantee me Aleister Black gets a run, I'd fucking love it.
All right, give Aleister Black, give him a faction.
We really don't need to spend a lot of time on Aleister Black yet. I just think that he's the guy.
But
I
my
like him a
point
lot.
is, to use Aleister Black as an example, he doesn't need a faction.
Right.
That's the way I look at
He's a
AJ.
standalone,
AJ
right.
is so loved by himself, and even him, when he was teamed up with the club, didn't give them enough of a rub for anyone to give a shit.
Yeah.
Why put him with a team, with a three-guy team,
Right.
now make it a foursome there? What does it matter? Like, it's not going to change anything when you look at fans that have watched Finn lose to Kane.
Right.
He's finally getting a chance to be his own man. Let him be.
Right.
Don't put him with people that are going to take something off from him.
Well, I'm not, and again, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to make AJ just like how Triple H and HBK were for DX. They both equally had the thing, and you had who they had in the background. Whatever.
So you're gonna tell Finn, hey, listen, you're the leader, but you're gonna carry the IC title, and
AJ's
gonna be the heavyweight champ. Like, it won't work.
I mean, I figure HBK was the European champ.
And what did he do?
Okay, all right, listen.
If I could Kevin Nash that match.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Okay,
I'm not making it up.
I know you're not.
That
making it up.
happened.
Yeah, that's fact.
Those are real things.
Listen. This is just my. This is just my.
I'm not trying to say you're an
want.
idiot for thinking of any of this stuff at all.
No.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to give you exactly how. And I understand this. It doesn't make any sense to use logic when we're talking about fucking WWE.
Yeah.
But that's how I think about it. I'm like, no, like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. I like the idea. I think it would be an exciting idea. I just don't think the roster is talented enough to. I think you would lose more than you gain from having AJ in the club.
And this is the problem I have, because in the 90s we had all that.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
We had the NWO.
That's the problem.
Which
Right.
took up What?
Literally, it became like 200 people. But yeah, just
right. And then you had Wolfpack, and then you had WCW, and then you go over to Raw, and
then you had the LWO.
Yeah. And then the
Latino World Order.
forgot about
and then,
that.
And then the
Forgot about that.
BWO,
Yes.
Blue World Order.
I'm telling you, you had a lot.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, it's like today, it sucks because, and like Dave said, all I know are factions.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a huge fan of Steve Austin or The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, whatever from back in the day, you don't know.
So here's a good example. How many factions were in the ECW? Other than the BWO, what other faction was in WWE? I mean ECW.
Excuse me.
Sorry, we do it all the time.
Well, you had the Dudley Boys.
Were they a
tag team?
I mean, it was a tag team, but they had the Dudley. It was the Dudley Boys family.
Family.
Like they had
okay.
signed, signed Dudley. They had signed
the
Guy
Wyatt
and Dudley.
family
Yeah,
type thing, yeah.
but
Spike.
but most of them weren't like wrestlers. Most of them were just guys that just showed up to be backstage, behind the scenes guys.
But I mean, that whole ECW thing, they really didn't have.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And
you don't
it was
need
all-
that.
you know,
We've
they
had examples of not needing
You
that.
don't need it, but look what happened to ECW.
Yeah, they went out of business first.
Here's the difference, though. They also didn't know how long did they build up.
Paul Heyman didn't pay his guys at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, that there was a deal with that, and then also you just started to lose some guys because they wanted to go get paid somewhere
Guaranteed
else.
contracts.
But
But
storyline-wise, did you hate the long build of Taz versus Sabu, Taz versus RVD, RVD versus Sabu, Sandman getting thrown in there? Like there were
Even Chris Benoit.
I'm going to level with you. I hated ECW, but it's because I didn't like Taz, and I didn't like who was the other one you just mentioned? Sabu versus
RVD.
RVD. Hated RVD.
You hated RVD?
Hard to date RVD.
Why?
Hated him. Oh
Why?
my god.
What about RVD?
He
Did
was
you
just generic as fuck.
Whoa,
Not at all.
I thought
RVD.
That is sacrilege.
Yeah, no,
Whoa,
RVD's
how?
very generic.
Whoa.
He was like a carbon copy of like every mediocre wrestler.
Oh,
That's how I took
What?
it. Yeah.
Like, what did he do that was
Whoa.
that
like
was?
his move set I thought was very like mediocre. And I thought
He was one of the
but-
first
yeah,
guys
but-
that like made like the kick pad. You know how the guys wear kick pads
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
He's one of the first guys to do that.
Yeah.
He was the one that did he always wore the like tie dye with the
hated it. I hated his look. I hated
Really?
everything about him. I still hate RVD. Like if you guys have him on the show, I'm not bringing my mixer to do the interview because like that.
Supposedly he's a really cool dude in real life.
I'm sure he is. I always hated him. I hated almost everybody on ECW. I was like, I cannot get into one of these guys.
Whoa, wait, hold up, hold up.
Sure.
Raven.
Hated Raven.
I
Hated
quit.
Raven.
I quit the show. I can't.
Oh,
do
thanks.
this.
It was nice. It was nice having you. No, I hated Raven.
That is one of my all-time favorite guys. Is Raven.
I liked him.
Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer was the ultimate loser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sandman.
yeah.
Sandman?
No, not
You
in
couldn't
Sandman.
get into that?
Not at all.
I think what it is just too white trash for you.
That might be.
You know,
that might be. I didn't want to
ECW
say.
was
Dave-
way too backyard for him.
Yeah.
But what's funny was I used to backyard wrestle, not like on a professional level, but like me and my neighbors used to fucking fight. We'd
So
go
did
through
I.
tables and shit
So
all the
did
time.
I,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, right.
That's
But-
a wrestling fan that hasn't
you
tried it.
had to have done that. Like,
I
or
mean-
you're
I
not
mean-
a fan.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's the
just,
thing. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Just last week, Aaron powerbombed me off a freeway.
Sure, I power bottomed Aaron last night.
I can't.
That's why I woke up sore. Jesus.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not an ECW guy.
I can't believe I heard what I just heard.
Yeah.
So now we have an argument.
Yeah.
Because those guys paved the way for a lot of shit that goes on today.
I think what
The concept is great. Like I like the concept. I like
So
them
that-
pushing the
but-
extreme envelope.
Okay,
right.
but talent wise,
they were the first ones.
RVD, man.
Well, I was gonna say RVD was he changed a lot of the game when it came to like his physical ability. He's
he's a high flyer.
Yeah, he was a high flyer that would do
Strong guy, high
crazy
flyer, right,
shit into the crowd. And strong guy only because he had big legs, man.
Right,
He was
yeah,
a really
yeah,
strong
yeah.
dude.
Right.
But like, hi.
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 We're just falling asleep in there.
Oh, nice.
All right.
You got any Reese's Pieces in there? Or Reese's?
I don't know. Maybe I do, Dave.
Let me get that Reese's.
A little bit
Thank you so much. I've eaten so much of these.
I am good.
I have easily put on like 15 pounds in
Put a
just
couple of them
Reese's
down
over the
in front
past.
of him. Because he just keeps eating them.
Yeah, potato. Well, cut back. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I get it. RVD has a fan base. I mean, he was in the business for a while.
Like Jericho got his big break there.
So you didn't like you didn't like Lion Tamer, Chris Jericho, or Lionheart? I mean,
Well, a lot of people didn't watch that, but like even guys like they had some great matches with like, and I know you probably didn't see them, but like Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero had some fucking unreal,
Explosive
and it's not hardcore at all. It's
Yeah.
purely
Just
technical wrestling,
yeah.
and that's what if you watch any documentary, a good one about ECW is they talk about that. They're like, we had the crazy.
that's
They
the
were the
problem.
first ones to integrate porn stars into their shows. Like they did anything and everything to push the envelope, but they also had some of the greatest technical wrestlers in the game. They had super crazy. Like they had high flyers. They had technical wrestlers. They had hardcore. They had TNA. Like they had everything.
Yeah.
It was just not. Vince McMahon with the big lights and all that. It was smaller. It was like when you know how we love local shows,
Right, yeah.
That's how their shows were.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
less. I feel like it was less story based and more wrestling based.
Yeah.
And they got a story out of that. They told a story with the
Oh, of course. Yeah, we talked about
in-ring
that.
technology.
Right, yeah.
It's more in-ring than just story. You know, it's two guys standing in the ring talking. But I think that's the problem nowadays. It's all talk, and we're not getting enough wrestling.
I mean, South Park even made an episode about it.
Yes,
And it was very.
they never wrestle.
Yeah, no. And then they had Vince McMahon sitting up in the high, you know, with the binoculars on the stick there. Yeah, it was just crazy.
But it's one of those things. It's hard to.
I just
I
can't
get what
believe-
I get what you're saying, Dave. But like,
No, I can't get what he's
no,
saying.
I can get when someone says like me saying I didn't love the Omega Alpha match versus the Alpha match. Like I get it. It's just
See, I really like
I disagree with your take on ECW,
Right.
but that's my opinion.
Of course, yeah. I'll also tell you that I think the XFL is the best football league ever. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just
it
kidding.
could
I'm just
be
kidding. It could be
in the future.
Could be.
You know,
I think it'll be better. I don't know. I won't do that yet. That's too hot of a take.
too hot of a
Well,
take.
hold on.
It hasn't,
Scorching hot
hasn't
take.
even happened.
Yeah,
yet.
that
hold
is a
up.
fucking magma take right there.
The way the NFL's going, you might want to hold on to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with my NBA. Will be the more popular sport. I'm going to stick with that one.
But yeah, no, it's just right now it's tough to watch.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like wrestling right now. So don't get me wrong. Like, and the thing is, I think there's a lot of really talented guys that WWE creative and booking is fucking screwing over. I love Kevin Owens. I love AJ Styles. I love Finn Balor. I like Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura was so much better in 3 matches in NXT than he has been for 6 months now in WWE. Like, you know, what I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's awful.
And I like so much talent on there.
Bray, they're screwing him over pretty
Well,
soon.
Sami Zayn, wildly talented guy.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say.
talented.
that's
yeah,
bad.
but I think finally putting them in like a big angle with Shane, and I know it's crazy to say like Shane McMahon's going to be the guy that helps you promote a big angle,
Right.
But right now, other than AJ, like he's one of the bigger names in that show.
Yeah.
Who, Shane?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
And-
he's the most. I think
and
he's the most important part of that show.
for the simple fact that if you had disgruntled employees like he does, you'd probably want to act the same way he does. If you had that much unchecked power,
Right.
where you knew you couldn't get fired for being like that
Right, yeah.
to your employee as a manager,
Right.
Point.
Yeah.
you would act like that.
Right.
So that's why when people get mad at the way he acts, I'm like, no. If you were the boss's son and you were running a show for your dad,
Right.
and somebody acted like that, you would fucking tell him, you're out of here, man.
right.
It's, and then somebody else without the family frame of mind would go, hey, no, they're legit talent. Like, I've worked with people that are like that.
Right.
They can stroll in whenever they want, but they're really good. They're really, you wouldn't believe what work they can do.
He's referring to me right now.
You go in early and leave late. I don't want to hear that.
Just gonna come.
And if you show up late, you leave like
2 hours later.
2 hours later than you came in, like 10 minutes late. But my point is, like, it's just crazy. Like, I'm really fascinated. I want to get like a list of ECW guys and see if any of them you respect.
Check no.
Yeah, like Lance Storm. Like, do you don't like him? He's a great technical wrestler.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler. I just didn't. I guess I should say this: it's not that they weren't talented. Like Rob Van Dam was a talented guy. I just didn't give a shit about him.
Chris Candido.
Yeah,
I don't recognize. I don't recognize the name.
Sonny's girl.
Yeah,
the guy that she was with when
blew her up.
He died. He had a blood clot in his leg. He died from that.
Yeah,
that dude was an animal.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll always do it.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Blood clots. Let me tell you.
It's just like I think it's one of the things, like, you can't give them too much credit, but you got to give them a little bit of credit for being the people that were like, you know who's really good? Chris Benoit. We're going to give him a chance. And I know that's sacrilege to say his name. There's a lot of podcasts that won't even mention his name.
Right. For you to like Chris Benoit,
he's a good wrestler.
You can't deny.
I don't. Nobody. And this Jericho. That's another thing. We'll just quickly touch on that, and then we can move on to the next thing. But like, that's the thing. Like with Jericho, is he caught shit for saying, like, I did this one for.
Oh, I saw him on Instagram
Eddie.
talking about that.
I did this one for Eddie and Benoit.
Yeah.
And they were like, people were like flipping out, and he's like,
"Fuck you."
Fuck you all.
Right.
I know
him better. Yeah, right.
What happened. I talked to him that morning or the day before or whatever.
Right,
I know, if anything, I know.
Right.
I did an interview with his dead wife's sister to talk about it because I needed to talk to somebody about it because I've lived for years knowing what I know and wanting and knowing and you know, that's the other thing is, like, I say this all the time when people. And I'm not going to turn this political or anything, but like when people talk shit about like Trump, like, you don't know who he is behind closed doors with his kids. His kids might love him. Mm-hmm. You might think he's not a good human being. It's the same thing with gangsters. John Gotti murdered people, legitimately murdered people with his own hands.
Yeah.
His daughter loves him. Got her own TV show to talk about how much her dad was actually a great father to her. Mm-hmm. Any human being on this planet that's done awful things. Mm-hmm. Pablo Escobar, his kids talk about how great of a father he was.
Right.
He might have been a horrible human being, but to his children or whomever around them that loves them sees them in a different light because they can see the good things that he did do.
I'm picking up what you're putting down right now, and I'm saying that let's model our lives after Pablo Escobar or John Gotti.
Listen, I will always say as a wrestling fan, I recognize what Chris Benoit has done.
Yeah. But you can respect his wrestling.
I respect his career.
Nothing else about him.
Now, well, hold on. Let's say, let's backtrack a little bit. Now, let's say that because the rumors are that, you know, it's what's his name there, Kenny Sullivan, I think.
No, I know who you're talking about.
No, Dave Russo. Dave Russo's the one that had the family thing, the death there. Mm. That's all he got. That was staged, meaning. They all died, what I'm saying is, but they turned it on Chris, made him the guy that did it. That's an article I read, it's a video.
No, there's an article I read about her ex-husband, former wrestler, I think it's Kevin Sullivan. He was on WCW. Like, they actually wrestled against each other when they were, like, divorcing, him and his wife, and then she started dating. She divorced her husband to marry
this
Benoit.
guy that they're having matches with. Wow,
yeah,
that shit.
And like he still, I guess, kind of stayed professional. But there were public statements that, like, maybe not public statements, but statements he made with other people around that reported it.
Right.
That he threatened to kill him, and that there's a possibility that like he hired someone, a hitman, to kill them,
and then kill him,
and then set it up on Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to do that. I'm not going to go there at all.
No, let's not go there.
Right,
but
it's
crazy. It's a crazy take on a whole situation. It's a conspiracy theory.
I'll say this about Chris Benoit and anyone in ECW. I think what they did was really important for wrestling.
Yeah.
I just didn't love their characters.
Yeah.
I didn't fall in love with the guys. You know what I mean? But like, I can take Chris Benoit at face value and say he was important, and Rob Van Dam was important. I just didn't like him.
The same way. Cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And in the same way that there's guys like in professional sports that, you know.
Did you like Sabu?
No.
Those table bumps, man, were...
Well,
No, there were some crazy spots.
but
That's
then
the
when they
ECW
would-
was all bumps. Like, that's
Dude,
what...
New Jack.
Yeah.
Nah. See, I didn't like
I
New
mean,
because
no.
I think New Jack's a fucking nutball.
Well, he has a nutball, but...
Yeah, New Jack reminds me of like a fucking dumber Dean Ambrose. I'm just like, that's kind of how I took him. Like, it was like,
He said dumber Dean Ambrose.
yeah, like that's, I don't know.
So the Dudley Boys, when they were in ECW...
Dudley Boys, I like
Those really the only strong...
Them Pit Bulls.
Wow, Pitbulls, yeah.
And then I think both of them are dead.
Rocco Rock. Those
Oh,
two
I was
guys
gonna say
died.
Public Enemy.
Yeah,
They're
Public
both
Enemy.
dead.
Yeah, they both died.
the Dudley Boys. I will say were like too white trash for me. Like I just was like turned off by their characters. It's like the same. I didn't like the Bushwhackers. You know what I mean?
I did as a kid.
Right. You know what I mean? And they're fun. They're whatever. And
That's
like,
what
as
I mean.
As a kid, I was like, yeah, they're cool, but like I would never
So
be like, oh, they're
you didn't
dope.
like Attitude Era Dudley Boys either?
No,
Whoa.
no, I didn't.
Kind of blown away, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it. I'm a snooty fuck.
You are no. You're not a snooty fuck. You're a tough
Picky.
crowd.
Yeah, I'm picky.
You're a tough
I'm really
crowd.
picky. I'm picky about a lot of stuff.
Deep
Wow,
D,
Dave.
Yeah.
Deep D.
It's tough.
Hashtag deep
Just-
D.
yeah, that's all right. This has been your segment of hashtag Deep D.
Doing this next week.
A little philosophical podcast. Not a bad idea. That might be a new project. hashtag Deep
Jesus.
D.
All right, so before this train gets more derailed than it already is,
All right, so let's
go to the entertainment.
Yeah, let's go to the
section.
entertainment section.
Getting
here.
deep with Deep D.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So I've been watching, and they released it on what is it? Netflix on Friday. Tom Segura's most recent stand-up special,
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Okay.
I saw him live do I want to say probably half or maybe a little bit more than half of these jokes live last year for Jackie's birthday. Last March, I took her for her birthday as a surprise. We went and saw Tom Segura. He just did his most recent special. Yeah, no, that's Dave. He is that's a hose. That's a fireman's hose. Great stand-up. Loved it. Amazing.
Even on
Hilarious.
Even
like,
on Netflix too.
well, he's done 3 on Netflix. This is his 3rd one.
Okay, I never listened.
Oh, you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Go on Netflix.
Is it crude humor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, totally. But he's got some fucking amazing jokes, and I had a couple lines I'm gonna nail Dave with today, and I forgot them. But dude's so fucking good. But that's what I watched yesterday while I was making dinner.
Okay.
I was watching that, and then I've also been rewatching the Star Wars Clone Wars series. I have it on Netflix. I've been rewatching that, and I was caught up on Rebels. I might be behind. But yeah, it's been a little weird this week. I've been working swing shifts,
So yeah, you were working pretty late.
weird shifts. So when I get home, I'm pretty tired. Girlfriend goes to bed, and then I'm kind of like just sitting around, like trying to find a show that like will put me to sleep. Like, not that it's a bad show, just something I've already watched, so I can kind of like just turn off my brain and fall asleep. But then I went to fucking FYE yesterday, up at the Buckland Hills Mall in Manchester, Connecticut. They're going out of business, so they're having a big fucking sale. Everything was like 50 to 60% off. I bought Star Wars 1 through 3 on I think Blu-ray. American Outlaws, which I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I liked it because I saw it in the theaters. Fury, which is that,
that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard so many good things. Didn't he win? Like, didn't they win awards? Who directed it? Guy.
David Ayer.
Is it?
Suicide Squad.
Didn't he win Best Director that
did.
year? And then I also picked up on used copies of Legends of Mid-South Wrestling for I think it was like $6. It's half off, $3. Can't beat that.
Yeah, hell no.
And then the Ladies and Gentlemen, I Am Paul Heyman.
That's a good one.
I've picked up that documentary too. I haven't watched it. I'm gonna watch them. I literally just picked them up yesterday when I was at the mall. Mm-hmm. And I also picked up, I think, a Foreigner vinyl
Nice.
record as well, and a Hammerfall record or something like that.
Was it urgent? I'll be here all week.
Oh boy, Jerry. So, Jerry, what have you been watching?
So guess what?
What did you watch? Finally.
Stranger Things.
You finally watched it. You have one episode left, right?
One episode left to season 2, and I have to give you the complete credit because you told me to watch it whenever it came out a couple years ago. I didn't listen to you. I don't know why. But I'm happy I did, so thank you for that. I got to thank my girlfriend, too, because she loves the show, and she's like, just give it a couple episodes. And it took me, I'm not going to lie. It
took 2 or 3 episodes.
Two episodes for me to be like, okay, this little kid Will is in deep shit. My boy Hopper's about to go kick some ass. Let's go do it. Let's do it. The mom's Winona Ryder. She's crazy. She's putting lights up in the fucking house and shit. It's all good. Here's what I'll say. I know, Dave, you loved part 2. Oh, yeah. Part 2 does nothing for me from beginning all the way till this last episode.
See, that's where I disagree with you, Jerry. I'm sorry. Getting Hopper doing just cutting some rug with 11, like...
Yeah, okay, well, that part's cool. It's funny.
And you get to see 11 develop a relationship with...
Yeah, no, I like her better as, like, wow, you're like this weird, you just kind of came out of nowhere, you have no hair. There's another...
Don't love 11's hair in this season.
Well, I don't like the black hair.
But no, but you have another person who's just like you, and she goes by number 8. No.
She's not just like you. She has different powers.
But at the end of the day...
She came from the lab.
Listen.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Gentlemen, the nose still bleeds. It's all the same shit, all right? I like season 1 just for the simple fact of everything was... You didn't know.
Well,
you didn't know.
Well, here's the thing. For us to assume that 11's the only one that's still alive...
You would have to assume
if
that
she's
there's
11,
a lot more.
Yeah, I was going to say, if she's number 11...
Right, but...
And she's a child.
Yeah.
Then 10 probably exists, or 9, or whatever, you know what I mean? And now that you've met 8, and 8's like... It seems to be a couple years older.
Just a couple of years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is I just... and
she's hot.
Maybe I'm...
Were you into her?
I thought she was hot.
See, I'm good.
She wasn't bad.
See, I'm good because I have my cup of brown sugar I like.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good.
I didn't think she was unattractive. I just like... I was kind of like, I would. You know what I mean? Like, I'd throw her around, I guess.
So wait, so if you met her, you'd be like, listen, if I ask you...
Yeah.
Will you say yes?
Can I make you come? Like, that would just be it. That's my new mantra forever.
Can
I make you come?
Can you what?
Just like to just a stranger, like at a bar, like, hey, how you doing? Like, hey, the Red Sox won last night. Like, they did. Can I make you come? Be like, you're a man. Sorry about that. Just like, whatever.
But
if they just turn and look at you and go, yes, Dave.
Like, all right, I was just curious. Right. Just curious. Thanks.
What's your name? I'm Frank. I'm Dave.
Yeah, my name's Aaron. I live in Salem. Stop on by.
My name's Aaron Holiday.
Here's my address.
Here's my address. My social is, if you're interested.
So a guy knocks on the door, and Aaron's like, "The hell?"
He's like, you can make me come.
And then the guy's like, "Wait, you're not Dave."
What are we doing?
So
right now,
we segued way off.
All I said was someone was attractive.
Yeah, I know.
You guys went too deep.
No, Dave.
Welcome back to hashtag Deep Dave.
Deep D went deeper than any type of D ever. No, okay, so season 2, I'm not saying it's bad.
You said it does nothing for you.
It just doesn't do nothing for me. I understand what they're doing. I get it, like the Demigorgon, the Demi-Dogs, Dustin puts
I was going to say that doesn't give you anything. Dustin's part with Steve, and Steve showing him how to be like a
ladies' man,
like,
with the hair,
yes,
2 pumps.
I would fucking do it. In a heartbeat.
Right.
I would rock that if I lived in I would rock it now. I'm going to grow my hair out. I just don't have curly hair like that.
It's
2 pumps, dude. That's it. Don't tell anyone.
It's good. But like I said, it just doesn't... I'm not into it as like in season 1. I'm like, oh my god, I hope they find Will. And then when they pulled his body from the river, I was like...
So do you not hope that they like fucking heal
damn.
Will?
Huh?
Like, Will needs help.
I
think Will needs more help now in 2 than in 1. Like,
yeah,
I get it, he was
Will
gone,
needs to brush
but
up.
now he's here and he's
at
and he's
the end
gone.
of 1,
he's
he's spitting up shit. Like this season doesn't show you like him.
My favorite part of this season.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this season, and I need to buy these pop figures.
Yep.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, that was a great part.
To me, that if I could choose one favorite thing of season 2,
Right.
like the Halloween episode.
Yeah, the black kid doesn't want to
Yeah.
be the black guy.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
He's not cool enough.
He's not cool enough. He's Venkman. He's like, wait, I'm Venkman. He goes, no, I'm Venkman. No, you're not supposed to be Venkman. It's like,
But they
I love the
that they
slow
don't say
turn.
it. They don't say it.
Yeah.
They just keep
They
reiterating.
just kind of beat it in. Yeah, beat it in.
I mean, come on.
I love the slow turn of Dustin where he's like, what the fuck? And no one else is dressed up. And it's like, on hashtag dork, they were talking about it, about it's that weird spot. Like, now you're a year older, and all of a sudden some things aren't cool anymore.
Yeah.
And how do you know? So they're kind of in that weird, it's very resemblant of most people's
childhood.
adolescence where, from 7th grade to 8th grade, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And Dustin's like, when did they fucking decide that no one's dressing up anymore? Like, why did they decide that? So they're the only ones in school in fucking uniform. And
It was
Ghostbusters.
amazing.
Oh, it was perfect.
I would.
That was
do
a great
that.
scene.
That's how I should do work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just show up to work that way.
Do it.
I almost went to my freshman year of high school. Almost showed up in a costume, but then I realized I was still a virgin, so I shouldn't have done that, and I didn't do it. So
Well, you could have went as like a
virgin.
slutty virgin. Because that's like the Halloween answer to
I
everything.
don't
You just make
know
it
if
slutty.
that would have worked very well. What would a slutty version of you?
You'd be
look like?
provocative but awkward.
I would.
Because
So
like you were
let's think of
short,
Family
you
Guy.
were short, stout, and wore glasses,
Right, so-
and had no facial hair.
Let's think of Family Guy for a minute. You know,
Okay.
when Peter puts on the Daisy Dukes and
Yes.
the ripped shirt, the red heels.
That's you.
Let's take it from there.
Yeah.
Think about it.
all right, yeah.
Because no other costumes would fit me, and I was a fat ass. You remember?
I'm not calling you fat at all. I'm just saying you were short, stout, and wore glasses and had no facial hair.
You could have been a teacup, is
Aaron-
what that sounds like.
Aaron's
Could have been a teacup,
such a
short
nice
and
guy.
stout.
He's such a nice guy. He won't use the word fat, but
No,
Yeah.
no,
Stout.
because I was
I
like,
wouldn't use the word fat.
I fluctuated in high school. I would gain an inch and then get thin again,
Yeah.
and then like fatten up, and gain
Right.
another
And gained
inch.
it, yeah.
Well, you know, Aaron's over.
think
I was like,
teacup
I was
answer.
probably like 5'9" when I was a freshman. By the time I was a senior, I was probably like 5'11", 6 foot.
Holy crap! You were 5'9" at one point.
Yeah, when I was like a freshman.
Jeez. No, Aaron was too busy.
When I was like 13.
At one point, yeah.
when
You
I
were
was like
5'9"
13.
at a certain point in your life?
Aaron was too busy breaking wrists and breaking tailbones on
that's
people
what I
on the
do.
football
Savage,
field.
savage man. I really think teacup is the answer.
No.
Why? You said you're short and stout. Does
Yeah,
no one get it?
I get
Does
the-
no one
I
get
get
it?
the
Oh,
distinction.
I am a teacup.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I get it.
I literally just got that.
Yeah, I kept saying teacup. Should have been
It's
teapot.
teapot.
That's my bad.
That's
Yeah.
why I said no,
Yep.
Dave.
You could have just
No.
easily corrected me
No.
there.
So Dave's joke is officially destroyed. Like,
Yes, ruined it.
So Dave's
So
fired.
Jerry, I think you should have been a teapot for Halloween.
Well, it's too late now. You already said teacup.
damn it.
But okay, so as far as entertainment goes, that's what I've been on. No, I have not seen Star Wars yet. I'm at the point now where I just don't care to it.
I've heard don't.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I
Yeah,
don't care.
because you have never seen one, Dave.
No, I'm saying I've heard.
Hold
don't.
on.
Yeah,
From, like,
no,
Star-
no, I
I'm saying I've
know,
heard
but-
don't.
Hold on. Whoa. You don't like the ECW guys.
True.
You've never seen Star Wars?
Correct.
Why?
Why?
The only thing that's holding on to him right now with me is his love for HBK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's pretty strong. That's a strong
pretty strong
bond.
love, yeah. I'm almost willing to forget.
See, I have a little bit more. I have a little bit more reasons to like Dave.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't expect a lot of people to like me. I just kind of like, hey, I know how to do a podcast. Does anyone want to do that? And they're like, well, yeah, you have sparked a personal interest of mine, even though I think you're a piece of shit. Whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, so did see Justice League. That was shit. We talked about that.
Was that bad?
It was awful.
I heard you guys kind of review it. I'm not good.
I
you
didn't hate
you
it, but I was like,
I tried to rip
It was-
wide
Wonder
open
Woman much better.
all day.
yeah.
Lone movie?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Solo movie, much better.
But no. I mean, Stranger Things has been my
Yeah, what you've been focusing on.
yeah. And what's actually coming up next? I want to just quickly do a quick review on Netflix for anyone who is interested in the life of Andy Kaufman, Jim Carrey, Jim and Andy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we watched that.
That
we
doc-
talked about it on one of our other
Oh, you did?
podcasts.
Okay.
Incredible documentary.
That documentary.
Do you hate Jim Carrey
No,
now? I hate him now.
You hate him now? Why do you hate him now? He didn't
I
do
also
anything.
no.
Is it because he broke too much into character? He became Andy Kaufman.
That, and I also watched him on riding in cars and getting coffee with Seinfeld
Yeah.
on Netflix. He's just as fucking loony as he is.
He's
in
nuts.
that
Oh, he's not.
He's
yeah,
nuts.
he's not.
Yeah.
No, my point is like I understand people are eccentric, and you have to have, like, I was talking to Jackie about it, like, you have to have a little bit wrong with you in your head to be that fucking, like,
well, he thinks we're all
amazing.
He thinks we're all in a movie right now.
Anyway, I don't care what Jim Carrey thinks about my personal life. I think my problem.
I think
with
he's brilliant. I think he's crazy.
No,
I think he's brilliant.
but I think
he has broken brilliance.
It's okay to be brilliant. Don't be shitty to other people. And that was what I took away from that documentary.
But who was he shitty towards?
The people that worked on that.
Dude,
no. Andy Kaufman was shitty towards people.
No, he wasn't. In real life, everyone that talks about him sucks.
No.
Even
but what I'm saying
Lawler says in that documentary that Andy Kaufman was the nicest human being behind the scenes. In real life, he was nice. When he was in front of the screen and he was supposed to be a heel, that's when he did it.
Right.
But in real life, he wasn't like that.
But what I'm saying is that wasn't Jim Carrey.
It was Andy Kaufman.
It was Andy Kaufman and.
So do you think his spirit like took over?
Of course
Jim
it
Carrey?
did.
I'm just curious. No.
Okay, let me tell you.
I'm not totally opposed to that theory, by the way. I'm just curious.
Jim Carrey has, and another documentary is coming out too. The same thing on Netflix is doing. Jim and the Grinch. Where he completely I swear to God, they're doing, dude, this everything. He's like Ace Ventura's next.
No, is this a fact?
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is like a series now.
Yeah, it's a series now. Because
God.
Jim and Andy
made sense to me. That's the one that that makes sense.
When you see behind the scenes of it makes sense.
Every character Jim Carrey has portrayed, he loses himself into this character, which is why I made that status on Facebook like a few months ago. Let this guy be the Joker. This will be the most insane.
But here's the thing:
over the top Joker.
I like him better as a Riddler,
but yes, I do agree with that. Right. But he's already done it. That's why I don't think he can be the Joker. Also,
but those videos are not.
I understand. I understand that. It's
no.
All Batman movies, unless they're like directly. They changed Batman.
I want Netflix to make a Batman movie, like a Netflix original Batman movie where Jim Carrey plays the Joker.
Yeah, I'll take
like
that.
a completely different. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if they can.
Here's
or
the
whatever
other
the
thing.
copyright thing
so
is,
to that point, is our last Joker, he died tragically due to pain pills and stuff that he was taking, and pills to like help him sleep because he was having issues and time changes and dealing with becoming too involved in being the Joker and all that. I'm not worried about that because I don't like if Jim Carrey died tomorrow because of that. I'd be like, he still made great movies. I'm not going to disrespect that.
Right.
I don't care. But at the same time,
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like
that's his catchphrase.
If he becomes the Joker, like we saw how shitty he was when he thought he was fucking Cliff Compton.
Right.
How's he going to act towards? And this is what I'm saying. If I'm working on set.
Right.
And Jim Carrey treats me that way, I don't care.
Right.
I'm fucking pissing in your coffee.
Wait, who's Cliff Compton?
The guy that he played during the Andy Kaufman movie. Cliff.
No,
Cliff.
It's Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Sorry.
Tony Clifton. Yeah.
Tony Clifton.
But he would act like that towards the people that like. I understand you want to kind of project that you're really buying into this character and whatever. But to treat the people that work on set that are just making your food, that are doing anything and everything you ask for, and just shitting on them for 3 months straight.
Well, you heard him say
he would get murdered. He'd be the next Joker to die.
But you heard him say where he was like,
"It's not Jim, though.
I wonder if I can just do this all the time."
It was Tony Clifton.
I wonder what would happen if I just decided to be Jesus.
Yeah,
like. Fuck off, first off. Okay? Like, fuck yeah. Because that's crazy. Yeah. You're not going to just be able to do miracles. Like, that's wild. That's a weird thing. B, I want to watch it. I want to know. Like, I'm on both ends of the spectrum so much. Like, I think you're a fucking lunatic, and I think you're crazy.
You think he's a loon, but at the same time, you're like, listen, I need to see this
I need to see it, right. Absolutely. And, like, what if he decided to become Jigsaw? Like, does he just kill everyone around him now? Like,
but my point is, like, I get you're looking at it purely as, like, observational.
From an entertainment standpoint.
Yes.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if you had to work with him every day, and it's Jim Carrey, but he's saying, it's not me, guys.
Oh, sorry, guys.
It's not me.
Right.
And as he's slapping slapping you in the face and throwing water at you and yelling and screaming and telling you to get the fuck out of his way.
Fight him.
And like throwing food at you. Like you would get to the point where you'd be like, I don't want to be around you, man. I don't want to work for you. I don't want to work with you. You'd get away from that guy. That's what I'm saying. As a human being, for you to treat people that way just because you want to see if you can,
Right.
that's not okay to me.
That's what I felt like that more was how much can I get
That's
away
what
with?
I mean.
But that's also what Andy Kaufman thought all the time. Like, I'm going to do exactly what I can get away with.
And that's what
But
he...
but the difference is Andy Kaufman also...
He did it with respect for other people, which to you, and I completely understand.
We get down to that every time.
Right.
It's a purely like having common courtesy, understanding that you were once one of those people on set helping, and now you're gonna totally that's the same way with that's why I hate Bruce Willis.
Right, because
he's a horrible person to other people.
Right.
Bruce Willis he's a shithead.
Yeah, no,
But that's my point. I don't hear a lot of reports of Jim Carrey.
But I remember you telling me about Bruce Willis.
But I don't hear a lot of reports about Jim Carrey being horrible to everybody on set. But my point is, if you're gonna act like that, don't expect me to be fucking nice to you and do anything for you at that point.
But and also not for nothing, and I get it, but this happened. The movie came out 1999.
yeah,
Man on the Moon.
It was 20 years ago, something like that.
Or no, 2001, I think.
2001, yeah.
So, but the people that were on that set, they knew what they were getting themselves into when Jim gets a job. Then the director says and I know the director was getting completely fed up with it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the movie was, number one, a tearjerker. You want to talk about a tearjerker? That movie will bring you. That movie, yeah.
I like the documentary. Don't get me wrong. It opened up a lot of shit for me.
Right, yeah.
So you're not into are you done with Jim Carrey? Not in the current.
It's tough because what was the last thing that he did that was fucking outrageously amazing? Other than Yes Man? Was that the last good movie that he did?
No, even that was...
See, I liked it.
I liked Yes Man a lot. I did like Yes Man a lot.
Bruce Almighty?
See, but that was before that.
Before what?
Before Yes Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're
what was the most
going
current
on,
thing besides Dumb and Dumber 2?
That's definitely the most recent.
Was that his
thing.
most recent?
They did do a Dumb and Dumber 2?
Yeah.
It was bad, man.
I didn't see it.
I thought it was funny.
I didn't see it at all.
You liked it?
I thought it was funny. I didn't. It's obviously not Dumb and Dumber, but I thought it was funny.
Wait, we're talking about this...
Dumb and Dumber 2, not Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure we're...
Yeah.
Andrea from Walking Dead's in it. In that movie.
There's a couple things about Dumb and Dumber 2 that I really like, where it's Harry, I love what you did with the place, and it's exactly the same. He just put a new couch in it.
Yeah.
I'm you're telling me that you acted like you were mentally handicapped for 10 years just to get me back in a joke? He's yep. He's brilliant, man. It's fun. It's got a bunch of good callbacks, but it's not hilarious or it's not better or anything. But I thought it was entertaining. I'm a huge fan of Dumb and Dumber.
The first one.
Yeah. Right. That's one of my favorite comedies ever.
No, I was just shaving. Yeah, I figure I'd just get it done now.
He was in Anchorman 2.
Oh, he was the Canadian.
Yeah, I get it. Still doesn't...
Kick-Ass 2. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Okay, Kick-Ass 2.
Okay,
and the only reason why I don't count that is because he denounced it after the movie came out.
Yeah, that part, because when he was Colonel Stars and
You like
Stripes.
that? I remember how happy you were about that, Jerry. You're going to take that back too now? Everything horrible you said about him?
Shut up, Aaron. No. All right. I bitched to Aaron for a good month about this. Literally day in, day out, that you played such an awesome role and you didn't support it because of what happened. But you know what? I mean, Sandy Hook happened that year.
But it's not because of that movie.
What about
I'm
it?
sorry, it's not because of that movie that kid did that.
No, I know.
But that was why he said he didn't want to promote it. It was because that happened.
Right.
He didn't do it.
And my thing with that situation.
Yeah.
Because that's...
I know, you called me that day. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I think one of my favorite, most recent Jim Carrey things, and I say most recent, it was 11 years ago, the number 23.
Didn't watch it.
Oh,
I heard it's good. I hear it's like
That's
really
a real
out
good
there.
movie. Yeah, that's a real good movie. It's fucking real dark, real weird, but
That's what I mean.
yeah, for sure. Fun with Dick and Jane was funny.
I thought the funniest parts of it were in the trailer,
Probably true. That's probably
so
true.
that's why it didn't do a lot for me. It
Dick and Jane was pretty funny.
was okay.
Yeah.
The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. You guys see that?
No,
Steve Carell, the magic. He's a magician, Las Vegas magician.
Oh, I did see that movie.
I've never seen it. I know all that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was horrible. Jim had literally a screen time of 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They promoted him more than when he was in the movie for. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what they did with like Channing Tatum with the Kingsman 2 movie?
I didn't even get to see that yet.
I think he's in the movie for like
5 minutes, right?
not even.
Yeah,
my movie game's real bad.
I just haven't. I just.
Way out of the loop.
I don't. I have a very different selection of movies than Jackie does, and if I can find a movie that she and I both like, that's when we go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I go alone usually.
I just saw Father Figures.
Yeah, how was that?
It was funny.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's entertaining. I like Owen Wilson a lot.
I do too. You know what? A lot of people shit on the Olsen brothers.
Yeah.
They're like Luke, Owen.
See, I've
they
heard
all
Luke is
suck.
a real dick. I've heard that Luke's a real dick. I was listening to #Dork and they were doing a review of Will Ferrell movies, and they said that during
old school.
Old School, Luke Wilson was such a dick that he kept cutting his hair. Right?
Yeah.
Kept getting his hair cut.
Yeah.
And then they would like be shooting the next day. They were supposed to pick up on the same day, so now he looks different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From one scene to the next, but it's like the same day. And the director was like, "What the fuck, man? Like, I got to get my hair cut or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, Luke, what a dick!" Like, I don't know. That bothered me a lot. But
Did you guys see Bright?
I haven't seen Bright yet.
We talked about it.
Did we talk about that?
I've heard two people that have watched it. You said you liked it.
I heard they're gonna make another one.
I hope they fucking do.
No, I heard they're gonna make another one.
You liked it?
Yeah,
Was it,
I liked it. It should have been a miniseries.
Oh yeah, we did. You're right.
Should have been a miniseries.
Someone else said to me, "Worst fucking thing Netflix has ever made."
Wow.
Oh,
That's outlandish. There.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. So
Who
I'm
said
not-
that?
I
Was
think
it
it was.
Joe?
No, it was fucking Davey on Dork.
Really?
He was like, "That piece of shit." He was like, "That's the worst thing Netflix ever made."
Nah. See, I disagree with that.
You should go punch him.
He lives in Connecticut.
No, I mean like Aaron should go do it because Aaron likes to fight like that. So.
Yeah, go punch him.
But
We'll have a charity
wanna
event.
have a charity
I'll fight
boxing match?
everybody. I'll fight everybody.
Let's
Fucking
raise money.
lunatic.
Listen, we'll raise money for kids.
I'll
for
box
kids.
him.
Yeah.
I'll box Dave. I'll box Joe.
what we'll do.
Jerry's last.
I'm not fighting you. You're literally going to fight a bunch of people that don't want to fight you, so you're going to win every fight. So I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, come on.
Yeah, and then we'll make T-shirts like this.
Right.
You know,
That's what I'm saying, man.
Good.
I can
I
make
just
this work.
whipped up during this episode. I just whipped up a real nice T-shirt that might come out in 3 weeks. Who knows?
Is it for the B.S.N network?
It would be for the B.S.N network. It would be.
B.S.N
It'd be-
network found on your own podcast app.
Oh yeah, tpublic.com/user/BSN network.
So we'll finish this up real quick with what we've kind of picked up in the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
Collectible wise. Collectibles. So I picked up the Ric Flair defining moments. It's his last match in the WWE.
At that WrestleMania.
It was the WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels,
Where he whooped that ass.
where he came out in that sweet blue robe.
I cried. Even though HBK, like, that was I think we went to Hooters for that, right? To watch that?
I'm not
no,
sure.
I ordered it at my house. That's what it was.
Might have watched it at your house.
Yeah.
Is that the "I'm sorry, I love you"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love
sorry,
you.
I love
And then
you.
it kicks him in the face.
They made a T-shirt where it shows just the silhouettes of HBK standing, getting ready to bounce his leg, and Ric Flair's like this, and it says above it, "I'm sorry, I love you." Oh no! It shows. There's one where it shows him standing, and then the other one they made shows him with the kick,
Yeah.
and it shows Flair taking, because I mean that was huge because HBK, like, that's his hero.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's the
right,
guy that
right,
he.
right.
That's what he wanted to be.
I mean, that's the same guy that. I mean, what's crazy about it is, and that's the other thing. We'll talk real quick about Rick. They did a whole documentary on him on ESPN about him. It's 30 for 30,
was
which
so
I
good.
have not watched yet.
I haven't seen it
Can't
yet either.
find it on. I can't find it. I can't watch. ESPN unless they put it free on their app.
You don't have cable. Oh, you don't have cable.
No cable.
No.
You neither.
No.
You guys got to come over to my house to watch it.
Cord cutters, man.
Yeah. But
Speaking of which,
no, like to see how many generations he's influenced is insane.
oh yeah, especially because a guy like Tubuff, like you said, who's younger.
He's younger.
I mean,
I don't. We didn't ask him.
Adam is age.
I'm assuming he's around our age. He's
Yeah,
in his.
he seems about
He
that.
seems
I'll
like
say
in his
late 20s.
mid 20s
I'll
to
say
like
20,
early
26.
30s.
I'll say 26.
Yeah.
27 tops.
Yeah,
There's no way he's older than us.
I don't think he's older than us. Like
I don't think
Dave's,
he's younger than.
I don't think he's.
What's his name? Fucking
Yeah, no.
the guy-
Todd Harris.
Todd Harris. Yeah.
Oh, we got
19 years old.
Yeah, he's
Could be
been
younger
he's
than
been texting me too. He's been itching to get on the show, but
Yes, there you go.
But yeah, so that's basically what I've picked up. I've been kind of slow.
Okay.
Like I said, the working and all that crap has just been
so
rough.
with same thing with me too. I've worked doubles for the past 2 weeks, so I haven't really been able to really do anything. I remember I called you last Saturday. I went to a store in Southington called M&J Video Games and Collectibles, and this store, if you are a wrestling figures fan, this is the store. You walk in, you go right, you just turn right, and
Yeah.
literally the whole right side of the wall, everything in front of it, and all the way to the back corner, nothing but wrestling figures. And I mean, I'm not talking, current, old school, the Breakums that we grew up with, the LJN figures,
Okay.
WCW figures, ECW figures, so Dave won't get any of those.
That's what they call very mediocre personality.
They weren't good figures anyway.
No, they were even the WCW ones were.
No, they weren't that great.
Everything, and they have pops. They got old school video games. They got the guy who runs it, Mike Kanata. Shout out to him for doing a promo video for our podcast that day in the store.
I saw. Yeah.
And he filmed me on his live feed that day, and he let me plug the B.S.N. network and the W.E.C.P. So that's what I did for us.
That's awesome.
I ended up picking up the what'd you say they were called? The LJN Classics.
So they're the LGN throwbacks
LJN Throwbacks. Shawn Michaels
from Jax.
from Jax Pacific. So this is like one of those like
90s, early 2000s when they decided to do a little kind of a shout out to the like how Mattel right now is making the throwback figures their kind of their homage to Hasbro. It was their version of LJN.
Yeah, and to go along with that, he had a WWF Superstar Series Gangrel I picked up. I figured I met Gangrel. He was very nice to me and very supportive of our podcast.
He was very gracious with his time to do that.
Yeah,
that video.
Yeah, he let me, and I figured I've had Gangrel figures back in the day, but
They need to make a new one.
Yeah, and I said, like, is there any way, like, Storm Collectibles will do one for you, or, like, you think the WWE will do, like, a Mattel Classic
Well,
Series?
they're doing the friggin' what's his name? They did Isaac Yankem,
right? And
Virgil,
and Gangrel pretty much said to me, like, he goes, as of right now, I don't see another Gangrel figure come out for a long time unless they get in touch with me for permission to do it.
Yeah.
But then obviously they'll have to give him
royalties.
because it's because he owns the entrance theme.
Yeah.
And he owns the name now.
Oh wow.
So he owns it all. So the odds of that happening are slim to none. But I think he said he's getting in touch with like the guys who do
Figures Toy Company.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do a Gangrel. Which if that's what we can get, I'll take it. So, but as far as collectibles go, that's what I picked up. I actually might go check out Toy Vault today, see if they have anything. I doubt it, but I'll see what they got. And yeah, so that's it for me.
Awesome.
I've been collecting B.S.N. Network T-shirts. That's what I'm getting into.
Huh? How much? How many points of articulation you got in those?
Well, let me see. I have one. I got a second on the way. Just ordered another. No, we actually have. Oh man, let me see. Obviously we have the logos for 4 different shows on the shop, which is tpublic.com/user/BSN Network, and we have the BSN Network shirts. We have W.E.C.P shirts. which are real nice. I like those logos a lot.
So if I go to tpublic.com, I can type in the search engine B.S.N Network, and it will get us to our shirts.
I'm hoping so. I don't
Should
know.
probably iron that out before I say something.
I don't know that for sure. Yeah, so right now, that's why I keep saying we'll just go tpublic.com/user/BSN network, and we'll find out what happens from that point forward.
And we'll put the link in the bio.
Yeah, the link's always in there. There's a link that's like check out our merchandise that links you directly to the shop.
Yeah, guys, buy the shirts. Support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we did just release a exclusive Patriots-related like playoff win themed shirt where it's the 4-star logo, but it's got the Patriots color scheme.
That's cool.
So the 4-star logo is really easy to kind of manipulate and make like different color schemes and stuff like that. But I'm working on getting different like varieties for everybody, so you guys could do like a WrestleMania themed one or something like that, or whatever. But if Batman came out, do like a Batman themed thing or whatever. So there's a lot to be had here soon, merchandise wise, which I think is really exciting. And check yours out. I like the 4-star whiteout edition right now where it says, dive into the winter season because no one else is like you, just like a snowflake. So dive in with the new whiteout 4-star logo where it's a white 4-star logo on a white t-shirt, a little bit of shade, just kind of makes it pop out a little bit.
If you type in BSN, the BSN network logo pops up. Comes in, and then if you want it, if you want one of ours, literally type in W.E.C.P in the search engine on tpublic.com.
Yeah,
and it'll bring it right to our logo.
Perfect.
And then you can click on it, and then you can pick out all the stuff. There's T-shirts, and they have like CD. What is it? No, they
phone
have
covers, pillows.
Yeah, phone covers, pillows, all kinds of stuff.
Wall art. You can get like a like a piece of art,
canvas wall art, like that,
right?
Like that,
yeah, just like that.
Only with our logo on it.
Yeah. And it's all $14. That's not
for a shirt.
The first shirt. That's
the shirt. Well, that was when they were on sale. They might be
there right now. It says that your shirt is on sale for 1 day. Yeah, a day and 13 hours.
All right, so I should order them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it now.
But anyway, just if you guys want to support us,
yeah, there's a ton there. I really like the W.E.C.P logo.
It looks good, and there's a couple colors. There's like I want to say there's like a tealish color, like a dark teal.
Yep,
that's really cool.
Yeah, the variety of things. I mean, you can
the different colors and the different.
For your logo exclusively,
yeah.
There's tank tops, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, baseball t-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, kids shirts, kids hoodies, kids long sleeve tees, onesies for a baby, phone cases, laptop cases. You can get stickers for your laptop, whatever you want. Wall art, notebooks, mugs, pillows, totes, and tapestry.
Oh, snap.
So you can WCP basically your entire fucking house. And
your car, and your laptop.
And your laptop.
Your phone.
Your wardrobe, everything.
Yeah.
So do that.
Awesome.
Do that a lot.
All right, guys. Great day. Great interview. Want to just say thank you again to 2Buff.
Thanks for having me on, too.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, 2Buff.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No, fuck you.
Huh? Thank you.
Thanksgiving?
No, thank you. It's like Thanksgiving Day. I feel very thankful.
All right. Good night.